One win aside through 2 games in this 4-game series, and Game 3 between the Sasquatch and the Spuds is coming up on a hot Wednesday afternoon. Hello everyone, and welcome inside the press box here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. I'm Ari Wall. The Sasquatch got a much-needed victory last night, defeating the Spuds 9-2. They got great pitching from Russell Peterson, 6. Dempsey hitting a home run in the first inning. And with that being said, we'll take a look at our off-the-wall stats of how these two teams have matched up over the first 2 games of this 4-game series. We showed you the first time these two teams met with how they fared as a whole over their first few meetings. But here you see a 1-1 record over the first 2 games. Sasquatch have been better offensively, 17 runs to 13 runs. The home run battle, we've seen 5 balls leave the yard over the first 2 games of this series. And a big note there on stolen bases. Sasquatch 5 of 5. The Spuds are 3 of 6. A couple Spuds yesterday were thrown out for the first time all year. The Sasquatch were able to win the stolen base battle over the first 2 games of this series. We'll see if they can continue that here today. Well, when we come back, lineups, first pitch, and baseball here from Black Hills Energy Stadium. It's the Sasquatch and the Spuds in Game 3 of this 4-game series, and it's coming up after this.
Located on Main Street. Welcome, Sasquatch fans, to Black Hills Energy Stadium. We thank you for joining us tonight as we take on the Casper Spuds in Game 3 of our 4-game series as we continue the homestand this week and tonight celebrate America's pastime, presented by Holiday Inn and Lucky's 13 Pub. And the Spuds come in 19-3 in the second half of the season, 38-7 overall. Your Spearfish Sasquatch are 14-6 in the second half of the season, 28-17. Let's get to know our visitors from Casper, Wyoming. The Casper Spuds. we ask that you please stand and remove your caps. As our national anthem tonight is sung by Dimitri.
What so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the earth we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Game 3 of the 4-game series between the Sasquatch and the Spuds, a big series in the second-to-half series of the year for the Spearfish Sasquatch. Cade Bleeker will be on the mound, and here's the lineup that he will be facing for the Casper Spuds. A similar lineup. Cody Clausius is in the familiar spot to lead things off, the DH. Wesley Flatt, the second baseman, he'll bat second. Dylan Schlotterbeck, the shortstop, bats third. Josh Phillips cleans up. Kenny Jackson, with 2 home runs already in this series, bats fifth. Chase Burke, sixth. Matt Marsick will bat seventh. Dawson Barricani's over at third and batting eighth. And Parker Burt is back behind the plate, and he is batting ninth. And that lineup will be taking on the starting pitcher for the Spearfish Sasquatch. It'll be Cade Bleeker on the mound. Really good summer for Bleeker so far. 42 and a third innings pitched. He's allowed 20 runs, only 15 of them earned. He's got an ERA that sits at 3.19. A 4-0 record, and the Sasquatch as a team are 8-1 in games that he has started. He leads the team in innings pitched. Opponents are batting just .234 against him on the summer. Doesn't have a ton of swing and miss stuff. His swing and miss percentage is only at 7.47%, very low, but he's got a high weak contact percentage up above 70, and he works very quickly on the mound. His 15.5 pitches per inning pitched is the lowest on the team among pitchers with at least 10 innings pitched. 26 strikeouts to 16 walks. He's in the strike zone a lot. He pounds the zone, he pitches to contact, and he works quickly on the mound, so expect to see that from Bleeker. And he's been around that quality start kind of pitcher. If you bump the quality start instead of 6 innings and make it 5 innings, he's had 4 starts this summer where he has gone 5 innings and allowed 3 earned runs or fewer. And he's only allowed more than 3 earned runs once. It was his last start that came against the Zap back on July 18th. He had a couple of his starts canceled due to rain delays, or at least shortened because of rain delays, but no rain in sight today. It's a hot one here at the ballpark. And Bleeker will be on the mound trying to do what Russell Peterson did yesterday, which is quiet a really good offense in the Casper Spuds. Peterson was the big story of last night's game with 6 scoreless innings against the Spuds. Bullpen did their job in a 9-2 victory for the Sasquatch last night to even the series at a game apiece after Casper won game 1, 11-8. Sasquatch rebounded with a 9-2 win last night. We'll see what happens here today in a big game number 46 of the summer for the Sasquatch. Left-handed hitting DH Cody Clausius digs in. The tall righty Cade Bleeker's first pitch of the game is down low, ball 1. 96 degrees here at the ballpark. It is a hot one. The umpires for today's game, Zach Nelson is behind the plate and Gary Hall is in the fields. Clausius out in front of the 1-0, so now an even count, a ball and a strike to the DH. Clausius has taken over at that leadoff spot with Elijah Reeves out with an injury. And Clausius has done very well in that leadoff spot. Both teams rolling out DHs every game of this series to lead things off. It's grounded weakly towards short. Coleman bobbles it. The throw to first. It's not in time. Ball was hit softly. Not sure if Coleman was going to have a play on it either way. We'll see if they scored a hit or an error. We'll tell you after we give you the defense for the Sasquatch behind Cade Bleeker here today. The outfields, you got Jordan Bowman in left, Micah Wallett in center, and Javier Marcial in right. Infield third to first, Bachman, Coleman, Gonzalez, and Finn. And it's Nolan Ackerman doing the catching of Cade Bleeker. They'll rule it an error at short. Clausius reaches on the E6 and a leadoff base runner. As Wesley Flatt fouls the first pitch off. Going back to last night, continuing to talk about last night's effort. Against Russell Peterson, the Casper Spuds did not get the leadoff hitter on throughout the entire 6 innings. Peterson needed to face only 16 Spuds to get 15 outs. Or check that, 19 Spuds to get 18 outs. 1 above the minimum in 6 innings pitched. It's the 0-1 from Flatt, swing and a miss. The count goes to 0-2. Wesley Flatt back in the lineup. Did not appear in yesterday's game as a starter. Did come in as a pinch hitter. He grounded out to third in the 9th inning of last night's ball game. And one of the better hitters for the Spuds all year long. Up and down this lineup. 9 guys batting above 300 on the season. He rips this one foul just to the left of the third base bag. And Flatt is a guy who's hit the Sasquatch really well so far this summer. He is 12 for 28 against the Sasquatch, a .429 batting average. He's drove in 12 runs and he's scored 11. Sasquatch got just their 2nd victory of the summer against the Casper Spuds in last night's game. The other came in a start that Cade Bleeker started. As Flatt lifts this one in the air to left field. It's hit pretty well. Bowman's going back and he's just in front of the track to make the catch. That ball carried well off the bat of Flatt, but into the glove of Jordan Bowman for out number 1. Going back to the note about Cade Bleeker, mentioned yesterday was just the 2nd time that the Sasquatch have beaten the Spuds on the summer. The first came on June 1st when Cade Bleeker took the mound, went 5 innings, allowed 4 runs, only 3 of them earned. He didn't get a decision, and the Sasquatch would ultimately win that game 9-8 with Micah Coleman's walk-off walk here at this very ballpark. And that win, important on the summer, and a game that they easily could have lost. They were able to get a win against the Casper Spuds, and with every win, looking back on the summer, the Sasquatch and the Moo have the same record in terms of games back, but the Sasquatch have the tiebreaker, 1 less loss and 1 less win. Thanks to 2 rainouts against the Nebraska Prospects, those games were not made up. Sasquatch have the tiebreaker over the Moo if they do end up either with the same number of wins or if the Moo end up with 1 more win on the summer. Counts a ball and a strike here to Dylan Schlotterbeck, another dangerous bat here in the order. The 1-1 finds the zone, 1-2 on Schlotterbeck. An RBI in game 1 of this series, his 50th of the summer. The only guy in the ILB to get into that 50 mark in 42 games played entering today. .316 batting average, 55 hits on the summer, and 19 of them have gone for extra bases. Clausius over at first base. Bleeker on the 1-2. It's hit out to right center fields. Going back is Marcial, and he's not going to get it. It splits the gap and goes all the way to the wall. Clausius is headed for third. He's being waved home. The throw is cut off by Gonzalez. His relay to the plate is not in time. Bleeker is backing up the plate, and that's going to keep Schlotterbeck just at second base. An RBI double for Dylan Schlotterbeck, his ILB leading 51st of the year, and the Spuds jump out to an early 1-0 lead. Let's take a look here at the key to the game for the Sasquatch, the moment. This is the Sasquatch's moment to find their way into the playoffs. They realistically have to win one of these next two to give themselves a good shot of only having to win 2 out of 3 against the Fremont Moo. Got to take advantage of not just the moment of this game as a whole, but also the moment in each at-bat. They had great approaches last night, waited for their pitch, and took advantage of their moment. The first pitch is high to Josh Phillips, ball 1. The Spuds score first here today. They scored first in game 1 of this series, scored 2 in the top of the first inning off of Jordan Bowman. Last night, of course, the Sasquatch scored first with 5 in the bottom of the first inning. 5 runs off of Ty Volmer in that first, another in the second. As they got to arguably the Spuds' best starter on the summer. They'll roll out another good one today, and Brennan Daniel, you'll see him in the bottom of the first inning. 1-1 to Phillips. That's outside, 2-1. Phillips, a dangerous bat, of course, 9 home runs on the summer, the best in the ILB. 4 of those homers have come against the Sasquatch. Another one in this series in game 1. Outside again, 3-1 on Phillips. Right fielder Kenny Jackson is due up next, another guy who's hit the Sasquatch well with a couple homers already in this series. And a miss on the 3-1 pitch. And so Phillips draws a walk. Early trouble for Cade Bleeker, first and second with just 1 man out. And here comes Kenny Jackson. He's had arguably the best series out of anybody on the Casper Spuds side of things, perhaps between these two teams combined. His numbers on the season, very impressive, 343 in 35 games played. He's up to 5 home runs now on the summer, thanks to 2 in this series, 1 in game 1 and 1 last night. First pitch from Bleeker, drops in there for strike 1. Bleeker's done a good job of pounding the zone all summer long, but of course with a dangerous Casper Spuds lineup. See if he keeps to that aggressive approach, or if he tries to get a little more cute, paint the corners, and get more swings and misses. Pitch in the dirt. 1-1 the count to Jackson. Mentioned the season numbers for Jackson, 343 batting average in July, 14 games played. He's batted .310, OPS of 921 in the month of July. And 2 homers both coming in the series. The 1-1. It's fouled off, 1-2. In game 1 of the series, thanks to great work out of the bullpen by Cole Krieber going the final 4 innings, the Sasquatch needed only Bowman, Romero, and Krieber to get through game 1. Last night, they used Peterson, Peters, and Torpy. And if this game is close late in this ball game, head coach Justice Scott said we could see Aiden Torpy back out there again, pitching on a back-to-back. Even though he did go 2 innings yesterday, pitch count wasn't crazy high, only threw just above 20 pitches, 22 to be exact, to get the final 6 outs of that ball game. So he could be back out there on the mound today if the Sasquatch need him. 1-2 with 1 out. Schlotterbeck at second, Josh Phillips at first, Kenny Jackson at the plate, and Cade Bleeker's pitch. It's hit in the air to left field. Jordan Bowman going back on it, and he makes the catch. Schlotterbeck will not tag. Jackson flies out, and there's 2 outs in the inning. Brings up the center fielder, Chase Burke. Chase Burke is a guy who's put together a really great summer, but for whatever reason, the Sasquatch have been able to limit his bat for the most part through the first few games that he has faced against Spearfish. Coming up trying to extend this first inning lead for the Spuds to more than just 1. Big lead at second for Schlotterbeck. First pitch high. Well, Burke on the summer, .319 batting average. But against the Sasquatch, in 8 games played, they've only played each other 9 times. Burke is just 4 for 23. He's batting just .174 against the Sasquatch. For whatever reason, Sasquatch have been able to get him out. Bleeker on the 1-0. 2-0. Burke's been a little bit hotter as well in the month of July. He has a 7-game on-base streak entering today. He had a 6-game hitting streak that was snapped in game 1 when he came in and did not get a hit, but he did get on base. Didn't play last night. Jackson Bates took over in center field. This is grounded towards third. It goes off the glove of Bachman and will trickle into left field. Schlotterbeck has a lot of speed, and he will score. RBI single for Chase Burke, and it's a 2-0 Casper lead. Well, you wonder if Ryan Bachman doesn't make contact with that ball over at third base. Perhaps a play at the plate with a good arm in left field of Jordan Bowman, who is not only a good hitter and a decent fielder over at first base and in the corner outfields, but also a great arm as a pitcher. Perhaps if Bachman doesn't make contact with that ball, Schlotterbeck would hold up at third. Either way, it ends up an RBI single for Chase Burke. Extends the lead here for the Spuds as Matt Marsick waves and misses on a fastball that was up above the zone. Strike one to Marsick, whose batting average dipped below 300, but just barely. He's now sitting at 299 on the summer after a quiet day yesterday where he was 0 for 3. Outside. Struck out twice in last night's game, both by Russell Peterson, who had 7 strikeouts on the day. Marsick, the 7th Spud to bat against Cade Bleeker. Chopped towards the mound. Bleeker gloves it. He'll run all the way to the bag, and he beats Marsick to the bag, who makes contact with Bleeker, knocks him down. But he's able to get up, and he's all right. He'll go over and make sure that Marsick is all right with a pat on the back. And a ground out will end the inning. 2 runs in the inning for the Casper Spuds. Sasquatch Bats will look to answer when we come back. Two unearned runs come in to score in the top of the first inning for the Casper Spuds, and now the Sasquatch offense will look to answer as we'll take a look at the starting lineup for the Sasquatch here today. Seth Nelson will lead things off. The DH, Jordan Bowman, will bat second. Kyle Finn bats third. Ryan Bachman cleans up. He's batting fourth. Javier Marcial will bat fifth. Micah Coleman, the shortstop, bats sixth. Nolan Ackerman doing the catching. He's batting seventh. Matthew Gonzalez bats eighth, and Micah Wallett is in center field, and he is batting ninth. And that lineup going against the starting pitcher for the Casper Spuds, it's number 6, Brennan Daniel, who will be on the mound today. Look at the numbers for him. This is just his 4th game started on the season. 26 1/3 innings pitched, an ERA of 4.44, a whip of 1.25. He's got a perfect 3-0 record. 19 strikeouts to 12 walks on the summer. But opponents are batting just .219 against him. Teams have had a hard time squaring up the baseball out of the hands of Daniel. Seth Nelson takes strike one on a fastball on the corner. So the count goes to no balls and a strike. here on the leadoff man, Seth Nelson, back in that leadoff spot for the Sasquatch, has led off all 3 games of this series. Pitch outside. 1 ball and a strike to Nelson. Well, Daniel hoping he can pitch a lot better than Ty Volmer did last night. And for Daniel, mentioned this is just his 4th start of the summer. His last start came against Bison Baseball. That was on July 19th, as this has popped up along the third base line. Baracani over at third. He'll haul it in. And that is the first out here in the inning. Mentioned the start for Daniel back on July 19th. That was his last start against Bison Baseball. Got the win in that game. Gave up just 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. As Jordan Bowman looks at ball 1. Bowman started game 1 of this series, but as a pitcher, got the ball on the mound against the Casper Spuds, was ultimately the losing pitcher in that ball game. 2 balls and no strikes to Bowman. His numbers as a pitcher have been good, but his numbers as a hitter arguably better. He's batting .344 on the year in 25 games played. An OPS above 1 at 1.010. And he's got 4 home runs on the summer, which is most on the team. This is bloop, shallow left center, and it's going to fall. As Marsick couldn't come over from left field in time, Burke had a long way to go from center as well. Not the hardest hit ball off the bat of Bowman, but it still falls in for a base hit. Seen some of the Spuds defense already through those first 2 plays. Here's the whole defense. Marsick, Burke, and Jackson. That's the outfield left to right. Infield third to first. Dawson Baracani, Dylan Schlotterbeck, Wesley Flatt, and Josh Phillips. And Parker Burt is doing the catching with Brennan Daniel on the mound. Here's the tall first baseman, Kyle Finn. Looks at strike 1, 6'7". Kyle Finn has put together a great summer, .328 batting average for Finn this year. It's inside, 1-1. 32 games played. This is his 33rd. He's hit safely in 24 of his last 32. And over his last 14 games, he's been even better. He's 18 for his last 50. Batting average of .360 over that stretch. Catches the outside corner, 1 and 2. 15 RBIs and 15 runs scored as well over his last 14 games. Heating up at the right time, and he's been really consistent all year long. He's been batting above 300 pretty much all year. 1-2 is chopped weekly foul. The maybe one knock on Kyle Finn's game, especially early on in the summer, was his swing and miss, but he's gotten a lot better at that over the course of the summer. In a 2-strike count, see if he can continue to battle here against Daniel. He will battle as he fouls his pitch off, and that's really what you saw from both of these teams in the first 2 games of this series. The Sasquatch, even more so yesterday, was really good battles at the plate with 2-strike counts. Both teams have been really playing good baseball in the first 2 games of this set. It's been a joy to watch 2 of the best teams in the league go head-to-head. 1-2's ripped into left center field. This is going to get over the head of the left fielder Marsick and go to the wall. Jordan Bowman hustling towards third. He's going to get the stop sign, and he will stop at third as Kyle Finn has a 1-out double. And the Sasquatch have 2 in scoring position with just 1 out, and Ryan Bachman coming up. Finn got around on a pitch up in the zone, and to go back to the key to the game, the moment, well, that's what it's about right there. The 2-strike battling and waiting for a mistake and taking advantage of the mistake. The Sasquatch took advantage of mistakes last night. That's why they were able to win that ball game. And today, Kyle Finn takes advantage of a mistake on a 2-strike pitch. First extra base hit of the ball game for the Sasquatch. 2 on, 1 out. Ryan Bachman looks at a pitch off the plate for ball 1. Bachman, the guy you love to have up in these kinds of situations, batting .429 with runners in scoring position, and that might seem like it's high, but it's just barely above his season numbers. .385 batting average on the year. Brushes him off the plate there on a 1-0, 2-0 now to Bachman. Cleanup hitter with a very hot bat on deck in Javier Marcial. Bachman's shown some power as well. He's hit 3 home runs this summer. Put the Sasquatch on the board in last night's game with a 2-run double in the first inning, part of a 4-hit effort for Bachman last night. fouls this pitch off. 4 for 5 day for Bachman yesterday. He scored 2 runs and he drove in 2. It's another start at third base. As Matthew Gonzalez continues to play second and Micah Coleman continues to be at shortstop. No Danny Cook in the lineup for a third straight game. Phillips leaving a big hole over at first base. 2-1. Again towards that third base line and foul. So now a 2-strike count against Bachman. For Bachman, this is game number 38 of the season for him. He's hit safely in 31 of his previous 37. He's found his way on base in each of those 37 games. 2-2. That's on the corner, strike 3. And Bachman goes down looking for the second out of the inning. That's a big second out there for Daniel as it keeps runners at second and third and inches him 1 out closer to getting out of the jam. He'll have to go through arguably the Sasquatch's hottest bat over this past stretch, and that is Javier Marcial. Marcial will try to do what Bachman could not and get the Sasquatch on the board. Another 3-hit game for Marcial last night. A double to go along with a couple of singles, drove in a run as well. He looks at strike 1 at the top of the zone. The numbers for Marcial in the season, he's all the way up to a .281 batting average now on the year. Consider the fact he didn't get a hit in May. He was 0 for 19. Over his last 8 games, he's batting .400. And in July, he's batting .333, gets hit by a pitch. And the bases will be loaded here with 2 outs in the first. Well, it doesn't get any easier with this guy coming up. The shortstop, Micah Coleman, batting .395 on the year, approaching that .400 mark, and he's done so in 26 games. Not a small sample size anymore for Coleman. He has hit the ball well all year long. And he looks at strike 1. In the month of July, .389 batting average in 11 games played. 8 RBIs and 14 runs scored. He's hit safely in 22 of 26 games this year. Hits one in the air, center field. Chase Burke coming on, and he makes the catch for the third out. Sasquatch load the bases against Brennan Daniel, but he works into and out of trouble. After 1 inning of play, the Casper Spuds lead the Sasquatch 2-0.
Road trips are measured in miles of uncontrollable laughter, comfortable silence, and new memories. And for 50 years, Super 8 has been there for wherever your journey takes you. So when the open road calls for a good night's rest, you can depend on Super 8's modern rooms at over 2,000 locations. Plus, earn Wyndham Rewards points for every stay. Super 8, one of 24 trusted brands by Wyndham. See you on the road.
Top of the second inning, 2-0 the score. Casper in front. Dawson Barricani, Parker Burt, and Cody Clausius 8-9-1 in the Casper order, going up against Cade Bleeker for inning number 2. The third baseman, Barricani, looks at ball 1 upstairs. Gave you a little bit of how consistent Cade Bleeker has been this season. Only allowed more than 3 earned runs once, and it was his last time out against the Zap on July 18th. He's only given up the 2 runs today, and neither of them earned after the error to lead off the ball game from Cody Clausius when he reached on an E6. Got 2 more outs after that before giving up a run, and so ultimately ends up 2 unearned runs, I should say. He's fallen behind of Barricani here, 3 balls and no strikes. Fastball in there for strike 1. Barricani's put together a good summer. 26 games played. He's batting .275. Good on-base percentage as well at .402. 25 hits, only 3 of them extra base hits, so a lot of singles for Barricani. Pops this one up right side. Who's going to get it? Marcial coming in from right field. He'll make the catch. 1 up and 1 down. Well, we told you Javier Marcial might be the hottest batter over the last stretch for the Sasquatch. Here's probably the hottest hitter for the Casper Spuds, Parker Burt, batting in the 9th spot in the order despite having a great summer and an even better month of July. So he will dig in here with 1 out and the base is empty against Bleeker. Goes after the first pitch and swings and misses. Burt's batting average up to .320 on the summer. And in the month of July, in 8 games played, Burt is batting .526 with a 1.320 OPS. Behind in the count 0-2 as Bleeker finds the zone again. Look on the Sasquatch side of things, Jake Dempsey's been doing something similar out of that catcher/utility DH role. Hit his first home run of the summer yesterday. Down on 3 pitches as Bleeker blows the fastball by Burt. Good start to his second inning as he's bounced back with 2 outs to begin the frame. Burt goes down on strikes, first strikeout of the game for Cade Bleeker. And back to the top of the order for the DH, Cody Clausius. I mentioned briefly before the half inning began that Clausius reached on the error on the ground ball to short. Came around to score on the Dylan Schlotterbeck RBI double. It's going to be a close play at first base, even if Coleman was able to get to that ball. It was weakly hit off the end of the bat by Clausius towards the second base bag, and Coleman had trouble getting it out of his glove, into his hand, and then ultimately the throw came late over to first. Clausius towards short again. This time Coleman makes the catch. So he's attacked Coleman twice today, but Coleman better that time. It's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Cade Bleeker. And as we head to the bottom of the second inning, Sasquatch trail it by 2.
I want to shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. She loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice play.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
Our guests entertain with new games every month. For the freshest selection of slot machines in town, make the Lodge at Deadwood your gaming destination. The locals' choice for gaming excitement with the newest games is the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort.
Bottom of the second, bottom of the order for the Sasquatch. 7, 8, 9, Nolan Ackerman, Matthew Gonzalez, and Micah Wallett, with Brennan Daniel back out there on the mound for inning number 2. First pitch from Daniel. That's in there for strike 1 on Ackerman. Well, Daniel threw 21 pitches in the first inning. The Sasquatch loaded the bases with 2 outs before a Micah Coleman flyout ended the threat. Ackerman looks at ball 1 to even the count. Ackerman, a great summer as a catcher for the Sasquatch, coming back for summer number 2. 11 games played last year, batted .448. This year in 13 games played, he's batted .449. He had a home run last year. He's hit 2 this year. He's been even better this go around, and he was also good behind the plate in game 1 of this series. Casper was just 2 of 3 on stolen bases. 2-2. We've talked a little bit in this series about the stolen base battle. Casper Spuds have 167 stolen bases on the year, but they're just 3 of 6 in this series. Meanwhile, the Sasquatch, who have just 62 stolen bases on the year, are 5 of 5. This is inside the line off the bat of Ackerman. He's going to round first, but he'll stop right there. Leads off the second inning with a single down that third base line. And the Sasquatch begin the second inning with a leadoff base runner. Brings up Matthew Gonzalez. Gonzalez's impact has been massive over this last couple game stretch, last 10 or so games where he's seen more playing time. He has been a big factor in the Sasquatch's success, most notably with his glove, playing really good defense at either shortstop or second base. Played a lot of shortstop before this series and then has played second base in all 3 games while Bachman has moved over to third. Made a really nice defensive play at second base yesterday to turn what could have been a line out into a double play. He let the ball go off his glove and then hit the ground. Threw it to second to get an out and then over to first to get a double play to end an inning. Has continued to show time and time again his ability with the glove, and now recently has shown his ability with the bat. As he entered the series against Bison Baseball on July 8th, he was batting just .143. He was 6 for 42 on the year, and over his last 12 games played, he's 15 for 43. He's batting .349. He's been much better since then. He's raised his batting average 100 points to .247 on the year. Waves and misses there on a big 2-0 hack. 2 balls and a strike. Gonzalez is a good bat to have towards the bottom of the order. .394 on base percentage for him as he's walked over 20 times in 28 games played. Hits one well out to left field. Marsick was playing very shallow. He's going to have to go a long way. It's over his head, and it hops up against the wall. Ackerman's being waved home. Schlotterbeck cuts it off. His relay to the plate is not in time. RBI double. Matthew Gonzalez and the Sasquatch have their first run in the ball game. It's 2-1. Good swing of the bat there off the bat of Matthew Gonzalez. The infield was playing him very shallow. As you might expect, only a 5'7" stature and hasn't shown a lot of power on the summer. But he hit that one really well out to left center field. Marsick was playing very far in, and that resulted in the RBI double to put the Sasquatch on the board. It's an early mounds visit here for the Spuds. Head coach James Batten will talk things over with his starting pitcher, Brennan Daniel. Spuds now have a righty loosening in the bullpen. Spuds presumably are probably going to think a little bit about the playoffs as they've already clinched the best spot. They'll be hosting the final 3 games, if there are 3 games, to finish off the ILB Championship Series. The first 2 would be at the visiting ballpark, or the lower seed, I should say, which would either be the Sasquatch, the Moo, or the Sodbusters. Those first 2 games would be at that site, and then the next 3 games, if necessary, at least game 3 would be necessary, would be in Casper. So imagine that they're probably going to think about resting some of their better arms down the stretch with already that spot locked up. Micah Wallett, the 9th spot in the order, comes to bat with still nobody out, and Gonzalez at second base. First pitch from Daniel finds the zone for strike one. Seen Ben Green in center field each of the first 2 games of this series and batting second. Today the center fielder will be Wallett and occupying the 9th spot in the order. Nothing in 2 on Micah. 21 games played for Wallett, 265 batting average, but he's been better over his last 11 games where he's 13 for 39, 333 batting average. He's raised his average from the low 200s to 265, very respectable. Grounded towards third, fielded over there by Barricani. And the throw to first gets Wallett for the first out of the inning. Staying at second is Gonzalez. So Gonzalez will stay in scoring position for the top of the lineup. And Seth Nelson for his second time. Nelson popped out to third in his first at-bat to lead off Sasquatch offense in the bottom of the first inning, getting a second try in as many innings against Daniel. First pitch swinging into center field. Burke towards right center, settling under it. Gonzalez goes back to the bag. He will not tag. It's a good throw from Burke right to Schlotterbeck, the cutoff man. Will hold Gonzalez at second base. Winds up as a flyout for the second out of the inning, and that game-tying run will still stay at second base. And it'll be up to Jordan Bowman to try to bring Gonzalez home. Bowman a single in his first at-bat. Hits it in the air, left side. This will stay in play for Barricani right up against the third base bag. He puts it away. And so 2 hits to begin the inning, a single by Ackerman and the RBI double by Gonzalez. But Daniel bounces back. He retires the next 3 Sasquatch in order. And after 2 innings of play, Casper leads it by 2-1.
Peak Family Chiropractic and Sports Performance. We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof? Stop in today and let's get you to your peak.
And payroll. It even syncs with my POS, so I know my data is accurate. All right, tips are out. In fact, teamwork has saved me so much time, I was able to take today off to film this.
Cut! Now remember, you really hate that back office.
Wesley Flat, Dylan Schlotterbeck, Josh Phillips, 2-3-4 in the Casper order against Cade Bleeker for a third inning of work. Flat goes after the first pitch in the air left center. Ranging over is Wallett. The left fielder Bowman will make the catch. 1 out for Cade Bleeker, who bounced back nicely in the third inning. Threw 26 pitches in the first inning, needed only 10 to go 3 up, 3 down against the Spuds in the second. And with the leadoff man retired here in the third, he's retired the last 5 Spuds hitters. Going back to Marsick to end the first. And retiring Flat to begin this half inning. At 10 pitches the last inning. Just below his average of 15.5 pitches per inning pitched, which was best on the team. So the 26 pitches in the first made him work a little bit. But he gets back under control in the second inning with a clean inning. Now it's Dylan Schlotterbeck, who is also aggressive on the first pitch, fouling that pitch off. Count 0-1 on the shortstop. In the dirt. Schlotterbeck got his 51st RBI of the season with his RBI double in the first, bringing home Clausius to put the Spuds on the board. He came around to score on the Chase Burke RBI single. One, ripped foul, 1-2. Well, the Sasquatch currently tied with the Fremont Moo in terms of games back behind the Casper Spuds in the ILB, but they do own the tiebreaker, which is done by win percentage. The Sasquatch are 28-17. The Moo are 29-18. The Moo have played 2 more games than the Sasquatch, so they have 1 more win, but they also have 1 more loss. So the winning percentage of .622 for the Sasquatch and .617 for the Moo is what determines the fact that the Sasquatch, if the season ended today, would be in the ILB Championship Series. 1-2 pitch just off the edge. Bleeker thought he had strike 3 with the fastball. And the Sasquatch and the Moo finish off the season against each other. Over the last 3 games, neither team will be eliminated up until that stretch, which means, well, one way or another, one of those teams will eliminate the other in that series. Grounded to the right side, Gonzalez will gobble it up and throw to first. Schlotterbeck retired. 2 away in the inning. And you look at the math for the Sasquatch down the stretch. So after today, they've got 1 more game against Casper tomorrow and then 3 against the Moo. Both them and the Moo have 4 games left on the schedule. So obviously, you could do the math and say if they win out, but that's impossible because they play each other. So if the Sasquatch can win one of these next 2 games, then they'd only have to win 2 of the next 3 against Fremont in order to make the playoffs. If they lose both of these next 2 to Casper today and tomorrow, and Fremont wins today and tomorrow, Sasquatch would have to sweep the Moo in order to make the playoffs. So these 2 games important for the Sasquatch as they need to win at least one of these next 2, barring a Bison or Zap upset over these next 2 games against Fremont. Count 1-1 here on Phillips, the first baseman. Now 1-2 after a swing and miss. Bleeker trying to go 3 up, 3 down for a 2nd inning in a row. He's worked another efficient, quick 2 outs. Looking for punch out number 2 on the day. Here's 1-2. Bounced in the dirt, 2-2. Phillips walked in his first at bat. That's something that Josh Phillips has done a lot of this year. As you can imagine, being a power threat with the most home runs in the ILB. Probably not going to see a whole lot of pitches in the zone. He's walked now 43 times on the year. Hits one well out to center field. Long run for Wallett. He's towards the track. He's at the track, and he makes the catch on the run to retire Josh Phillips. 7 Spuds in a row retired by Cade Bleeker. Puts up a second 0 on the board, and it gives the Sasquatch offense a chance in the bottom of the 3rd inning, trailing by 1.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
At the touch of a button, it instantly allocates tip pooling and tip splitting.
Our employees love it that as soon as we've done the tip distribution, they can see what they made yesterday. It's real straightforward. What you see is what you get, and that's what you want working in a restaurant. And with Spot On, you've got everything there at the tip of your fingers.
Doubled his first at bat to left field. He was left stranded over at second base. The Sasquatch loaded him up against Brennan Daniel, but left all three on base to finish off the inning. This is hit out to right field, headed towards the Sasquatch bullpen, and it'll drop foul. So 2-2 on Finn. Sasquatch have 4 hits in this ballgame, but only 1 run as they've left 4 runners stranded, 3 in the first, 1 in the second off of Brennan Daniel. Haven't been able to capitalize as much as they did over last night's game off of Daniel. A lot of strikes so far from the righty, 39 pitches, 26 of them have found the zone. Up and in. Full count. Only 1 walk, or only 1 strikeout, I should say, for Daniel. He has not walked anybody. Struck out Bachman in the first inning, got him looking. Finn to the right side again. It's the second baseman, Flat, who will make the catch in shallow right fields. 1 away.
Now batting for the Sasquatch, number 24.
Bachman, another hit last night. 4 of them, to be exact. Grounded towards short on the first pitch. Schlotterbeck, with a lot of time, will throw over to first and get Bachman. 2 outs in the inning. And here comes Javier Marcial. Marcial's not only been getting it done with the bat, like we talked about in his first at-bat, but also with the glove and with the arm. Yesterday's game, Kenny Jackson in the second inning got a base hit and was thrown out at second base trying to advance the single into a double. Seen already a couple times Marcial show off the arm out in right fields. Sasquatch defensively have gotten a lot better over this last couple game stretch. One of the knocks early in the season was some of their struggles defensively, averaging, and still are averaging, about an error and a half per game. They do have an error today, but they were held with no errors through the first 2 games of this series. They played really good defense behind their pitching staff. Daniel ahead of Marcial, 0-2. Outside, 1-2. Marcial was hit by a pitch in the first inning, so not a hit to extend his hitting streak, but it does extend an on-base streak. He carries an 8-game hitting streak into today, but at least it'll be a 9-game on-base streak if he fails to get a hit the rest of the way. The 1-2. Chopped towards the mound. Daniel will field and throw over to first to get Marcial by a step. And so Bleecker with back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. Brennan Daniel has his first 1-2-3 inning. As he puts up a 0 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. We've played 3 here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. The Spuds lead it 2-1.
Spot-on teamwork saves me so much time. I haven't spent a single minute in my back office this week. Teamwork simplifies employee communications, scheduling, tip-outs, and payroll. It even syncs with my POS, so I know my data is accurate. All right, tips are out. In fact, teamwork has saved me so much time, I was able to take today off to film this.
Cut! Now remember, you really hate that back office.
6, right fielder Kenny Jackson.
Jackson will lead off for Casper here in the top of the 4th inning against Cade Bleeker. Bleeker really dominant over his last 2 innings, has needed just 21 pitches to get the last 6 outs. Back-to-back, 3 up, 3 down innings. As his first pitch, breaking ball misses for ball 1 against Kenny Jackson. Jackson, Burke, and Marsick, 5, 6, 7 in the Casper order. Foul back to the screen, a ball and a strike. Jackson flew out to left field his first time up. He's been very impressive on the summer, batting over 340. 16 extra base hits now on the year, and 5 of them home runs, 2 of them coming in this series alone. Back-to-back games, he has left the ballpark, and both of them to right fields. 2 no-doubters off of his bat. He's shown off the power over the first 2 games of this 4-game series. 2-1. Another guy who's on the base paths a lot and makes the most of it. He enters today a perfect 17 of 17 on stolen bases. Elijah Reeves was a big part of that stolen bases as well, but injured and out of the lineup once again. Grounded towards second. Diving play by Gonzalez, but it'll go off his glove and into center fields. Jackson breaks up a string of 7 straight, retired with a leadoff single to begin the 4th. Continues to put together a very impressive series for Casper. Gets on base and of course will be a speed threat as Chase Burke will come to the box. Neither team has attempted a stolen base yet today. Pitchers have done a better job holding guys on. Burke squares the bunt and he bunts it foul. I remember talking with head coach Justice Scott before the first game of this series about the series in general. He said, well, both of these teams are different teams than the first time they met, which was way back early in the summer. In fact, for Casper, the very first 7 games of the year came against the Sasquatch, and they didn't play up until now. Sasquatch are a different team and a better team, for that matter, since that beginning of the season. 0-2 the count to Burke, and a big part of one thing they've gotten better at since that point is holding guys on. Sasquatch were run over on the base pass by Casper in those first 4 games, especially out in Casper where they were swept. They've improved a lot since then, especially in the running game. 0-2. 1-2. Chase Burke, another returner from last year as well. And another massive speed threat. Spuds returned 11 guys from last year. Last year's team that lost in the ILB Championship Series in 5 games against the Fremont Moo. Foul away. We'll do it again on 1-2. Burke, you saw the numbers when he came to the plate in this at-bat. 319 on the year. Good month of July as well, where he's batting 333. And I mentioned 6-game hitting streak that was snapped. Over that 6-game stretch, he was 10 for 17. Batting over 500 in that short stretch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bleeker had to work a long first inning where he threw 26 pitches, gave up 2 runs, had to face 7 Spuds in the inning. 10 pitches in the second, 11 pitches in the third. And this will be pitch number 57 of the game for Cade Bleeker. In the air, shallow center fields. Second baseman Bachman makes the catch. Second baseman Gonzalez, check that. So used to seeing Ryan Bachman at second base where he's been really all year. I didn't get a chance to ask head coach Justice Scott about why we're seeing Bachman over at third base as opposed to second. It's been a long summer for Ryan Bachman, playing almost every game of the year, only really in the second half as he's seen more time off. Played almost every game, it felt like, in the first half and leading off, so he was getting a lot of at-bats, a lot of action at a demanding defensive position in second base. But he's been over at third for the last couple games with Gonzalez at second. Strike one to Matt Marsick. Marsick grounded out to Cade Bleeker in the first inning. Small lead at first for Jackson. It's just off the corner on the fastball, 1-1. Well, something that happened early in the season from Cade Bleeker was he'd lose his hat a lot on fastballs, and it would seem that he has not switched out the hat as the season has gone along. His body tilts, putting his head to the side, perhaps part of the reason why the hat comes flying off. He tries to go again to the outside corner, but misses with the fastball. 2 balls and a strike. Matt, another returner from last year where he was the ILB hit leader last summer. It's another ball into right field. That's why he was the hit leader. As there's a base hit. Jackson's going to try to go to third. The throw from Marcial's on the money, but it's just a bit late. And Jackson dives in headfirst safely over at third. There you saw the good arm of Javier Marcial, but just better speed there from Kenny Jackson, who got a good read off the bat and was thinking going 3 the whole way. Ends up at third base. The Spuds have runners on the corners with just 1 out. And here's Dawson Barakani. Barakani, a fly out to right in the second inning. He's 0 for 1 today. Looking to pick up an RBI here and get the Spuds back on the board. Sasquatch keeping the whole infield back here. Bachman playing behind the third base bag. Barakani looks at a pitch high, ball 1. Look at Barakani's numbers on the season. He's been better in July, where he's batting .294. Overall on the season, though, .275. Marsick has a lot of speed over at first base as well. With runners on the corners, we could see him going. He's dancing off of first right now. Breaking ball drops in there for a strike. Marsick was 15 of 17 on stolen bases last summer. He's 24 of 25 on stolen bases this year. A ball and a strike to count to Barakani. Good speed on both sides with Jackson at third as well. Again with the breaking ball. Missed it high. 2 balls and a strike. A dangerous hitter on deck in the 9th spot, though he is batting 9th. It's Parker Burt. The guy you don't want to face with just 1 out in this inning. This is a big out, number 2 standing at the plate. If Bleeker can get the job done and keep Jackson stranded at third. The fastball on the corner, 2-2. That's a pitch Bleeker's been trying to hit all game. Finally gets the call there from home plate umpire Zach Nelson. Now 2 strikes. Bleeker not a huge strikeout guy. Strikes out less than 1 per inning. He's only got 1 today and 3 1/3. Looking for a big punch out for out number 2. It's fouled off to the screen. Barakani stays alive. Russell Peterson was able to give the Sasquatch 6 innings yesterday. Doesn't seem like Bleeker will be able to go that same distance, but hopefully he can get through this 4th and maybe even back out there for a 5th. Sasquatch not wanting this game to get too far away from them. Elijah Bobo has begun heading towards the mound. He hasn't started throwing yet, but he is presumably going to be the first one to be called upon, whether it be this inning or maybe the next. Bleeker continuing to keep Marsick close at first. Jackson at third. 1 out in the inning. Dawson Barakani at the plate. Cade Bleeker, 67th pitch of the game. He's fouled up top over our heads. Nothing easy against this Casper lineup, as it's been all series long. Two-strike battle. Up and down the lineup, every situation. Never an easy out. Just misses there. Cade Bleeker wants to know where it missed. That looked like a good looking 2-2 pitch, just a little bit up and in on Baracani, so the count goes full. Bleeker will take a second to regroup his mind before this full count pitch. So he thought when that ball left his hands, he had out number 2. He did not. The 8th pitch of the at-bat will come on a full count with 1 out. Baracani hit by a pitch. Bleeker loses the curveball. And the base is loaded with 1 out and Parker Burt coming up. Well, it may only be the top of the 4th inning, but this is a big spot in this ball game. And because it is a big spot, Ryan Cantrell, one of the assistant coaches, will go out there to talk things over with Cade Bleeker, see if Elijah Bobo begins throwing or not in the bullpen. Big at bat with Parker Burt. Like we mentioned, arguably the hottest Casper hitter over his last 8 games and the team's last few weeks. Burt has been tough to get out, batting over 500 on a torrent stretch at the plate. And Cade Bleeker, his pitch count sits at 69. The bases loaded with 1 out in a 1-run ball game. Sasquatch loaded the bases in the first but failed to score. We'll see if Sasquatch pitching and Cade Bleeker can, if not end this inning without allowing a run, just try to limit the damage. Perhaps that's part of this conversation. They're probably looking for a ground ball right at somebody where they can go home to get 1, or maybe a ground ball up the middle that they can turn and get 2. We'll see how they play the infields. The outfield is playing very deep. They want nothing over their heads. A fly ball would likely bring home a run with good speed at 3rd and Kenny Jackson. So the first baseman, Kyle Finn, has his toes on the grass. The rest of the infield's playing back at normal depth. Cade Bleeker will go back out of his windup. And on a first pitch, he catches the outside corner for strike 1. Ground ball towards Gonzalez or Coleman. Might think about going to second and trying to turn a double play. Oh, 1, a swing and a miss. Situations like this, it's good to have a guy on the mound with Cade Bleeker who does induce a lot of contact, and weak contact at that. Seen a lot more swing and miss stuff than usually we see on the season. He's been able to generate quite a few whiffs today. He's ahead of Parker Burt, 0-2. Fastball hit in the air, right field. This will be plenty deep enough to bring home a run as Marcial's going towards the track. It's over his head, and it is gone out of sight on an 0-2 fastball. Parker Burt goes the opposite way. And what a stretch Parker Burt is on. A grand slam here in the 4th inning. A 4 spot in the frame and a 6-1 Casper lead off the grand slam from the catcher Parker Burt. You thought in a situation like that with an 0-2 count, probably we're not going to see anything near the zone, or at least I thought we weren't. With a big bat at the plate, try to induce a chase like he got on the 0-1 pitch, but he goes right after him with a fastball, challenged him, tried to catch him off guard, and Burt was not caught off guard. He was ready for it, and he took advantage the opposite way. A grand slam has put Casper up in a big way. 6-1 now the score as the leadoff man Cody Clausius digs back in. 2-0 on Clausius. Jackson, Marsick, and Baracani all come home to score on the home run. Looped into shallow center right at Micah Coleman, and he will make the catch. 2 outs in the inning. For Parker Burt, that's his first home run of the summer. And why not have it come on this stretch where he's been essentially unable to be retired. Batting now close to 600 over his last 9 games played, if you count today. Put a home run and make it 12 RBIs in his last 9 games, and game number 9 is not yet completed. Ball and a strike to Wesley Flatt. 7th Spud to bat in the inning. It's the second time the Spuds have sent 7 to the plate against Cade Bleecker. They only scored 2 times in the first when they did that. They scored 4 here in the 4th. 1-2. Flatt is 0 for 2 today. It's been a little bit colder in the month of July. You saw the numbers 342 on the summer, but he's batting just 264 in the month of July. Speaks to how good he was in June and May. Flatt's a guy who's been hitting the Sasquatch well as well. He's batted .429 against the Sasquatch this summer. 12 hits and 28 tries before today. And Flatt will call time. Bleecker taking a long time on the mound to find the right sign. And now we'll get the long-awaited 1-2 pitch. Bounced in the dirt, 2-2. Line towards second, 1 hopper for Gonzalez, and that'll end the inning. 4 big runs off the bat of Parker Burt, a grand slam to right field on the opposite fields, and the Casper Spuds have jumped out to a 6-1 lead as we head to the bottom of the 4th.
Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
When you venture to Spearfish in the Black Hills of South Dakota, you'll find rugged hiking and biking trails, extreme rock climbs, and views that will take your breath away. Plan a Spearfish vacation and come find your adventure. Spearfish, my great place in South Dakota.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Different ball game here in the bottom of the 4th inning as the Sasquatch now find themselves, instead of trailing by 1, trailing by 5, 6-1 Casper in front. Micah Coleman, Nolan Ackerman, and Matthew Gonzalez 6, 7, 8 in the order against Brennan Daniel. That pitch is over top the head of Coleman. Evens up the count here on the shortstop. Sasquatch have played from behind against the Spuds a lot this season. Played from behind in game 1, but they were almost able to come all the way back in the 9th inning. Put up 3 runs in the 9th inning in a game they ultimately lost 11-8 to begin this 4-game set. Tying run was on deck when the last out was recorded as Coleman hits it well to center field, but Burke is able to range back and put it away. First out here in the inning, and look at Brennan Daniel. got into trouble in the first inning, loaded the bases. In the second inning, back-to-back hits, Ackerman and Gonzalez led to the only Sasquatch run to this point. But after that RBI double to Gonzalez, he retired the next 8 in a row. Final 3 in the second. Check that, 7 in a row. Final 3 in the second. 3 up, 3 down in the third. And now 1 up and 1 down in the fourth. Outside, 2-0. Ackerman his single in the second inning and came around to score on the Matthew Gonzalez RBI double. 1 of 4 hits for the Sasquatch and the only run for Spearfish today. Like to try to chip away as soon as possible. You imagine Casper's going to pile on a few more runs before this game is done. There's a base hit for Ackerman, and what a summer it has been for Nolan Ackerman. He's got 2 more hits today. He's been great behind the plate. And now he's batting just about 500 on the summer with 24 hits and 51 at-bats. He's been fantastic for the Sasquatch. And a 1-out single breaks up that streak of batters retired for Brennan Daniel. And here comes Matthew Gonzalez, responsible for the lone RBI. Still not a lot of respect, though, out in left field from Matt Marsick. He's playing shallow. On the right-handed hitting second baseman, willing to let another ball go over his head if Gonzalez can get into one. Gonzalez in front, 1-0. 2-0. Saw the Spuds get action in their bullpen very early in this ball game when Daniel was into trouble in the second inning. After the base hit from Gonzalez, they had an arm loosening. Hasn't been one loosening since that point as Daniel has settled in nicely. 2-0, grounded, left side. Schlotterbeck on a dive, he can't get it. Rolls past him into the outfields. Gonzalez is 2 for 2 today, a double and a single. And the Sasquatch threatening once again against Brennan Daniel as they've got 2 on with 1 out. And the 9th spot in the order, Micah Wallett is coming to the plate, but first, the mound visit from Parker Birch. It's an opportunity for them to chip away. They've left 4 runners on base through the first 3 innings. 3 of them came when they left the bases loaded in the first, and just take a look at that difference. When the Casper Spuds loaded the bases in the fourth, they hit a grand slam. When the Sasquatch loaded the bases in the first, they didn't bring home a run. So an opportunity here with traffic on the base paths to get a little bit back closer in this ball game. And Elijah Bobo warming in the Sasquatch bullpen. The day could be done for Cade Bleeker after 4. Sasquatch could go to the pen relatively early. Wallett gets into one to left. This is well hit. Marsick going back. This ball is out of sight, and Wallett knew it. A bat flip on a huge 3-run shot after a grand slam for Casper in the top of this 4th inning. Micah Wallett with 1 swing of the bat answers. It's his first home run of the summer, a 3-run shot, and the Sasquatch are right back in it. It's 6-4. What looked like a Casper lead that was going to get bigger and bigger as this game got along. Micah Wallett puts a stop to that with 1 swing of the bat, a hanging pitch, and Wallett, as soon as it left his bat, he knew it. Instantly into the home run trot, held onto the bat for quite some time before throwing it away towards the Sasquatch dugout to punctuate a 3-run home run and put the Sasquatch right back in this ball game. Another mound visit here as James Batten will go back out to talk with his starting pitcher. Seth Nelson, the leadoff man, is due up next, but Wallett was a late addition to the lineup. Initially, Ben Green was scheduled to be the 9th spot in the order and the center fielder. He was removed about an hour and a half before first pitch. Wallett, straight swap into the lineup, into center fields, and he has made the most of it. A 3-run home run, his first home run of the summer. Puts the Sasquatch 2 runs behind. A big answer here in the 4th inning. That's something the Sasquatch have done really all summer long. Never out of a ball game, no matter what the inning is. We've seen them come back late in ball games as late as the 9th inning, like you saw in game 1 of this 4-game series. Always find a way to battle back as Seth Nelson hits one the opposite way, but a good defensive play from center field. Chase Burke is able to get there in time. Good closing speed on a ball drifting away from him. Nelson flies out for the 2nd out. Here comes Jordan Bowman. 1 for 2 day for Bowman. Chases the first pitch. He did go around. Strike 1 on Bowman. Bowman does both hits and pitches. He said he takes more pride, though, in his hitting, and his hitter version of himself would beat his pitcher version of himself. Fly ball to right field. Kenny Jackson makes the catch to end the inning. Not before a 3-run home run off the bat of Micah Wallett. Let's put the Sasquatch right back in it after 4 innings of play. It's a 6-4 Spuds lead.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
The day is done for Cade Bleeker. For the first time this year, he's allowed more than 3 earned runs. Or sorry, the second time this year, he's allowed more than 3 earned runs in a start. He gives up 4 earned runs today. 6 total runs. 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, or 5 hits, check that. 1 walk and 1 strikeout, and he needs 80 pitches to get through 4 innings. And now Sasquatch will go to their bullpen, and it'll be one of their better arms this summer, Elijah Bobo, who will take over. Bobo's put together a good year out of the pen. 20 1/3 innings pitched, a 1-1 record. He does have a save as well. He's worked a 2.66 ERA, a 1.38 whip, 27 strikeouts to 14 walks. He's been one of the Sasquatch's more reliable arms in the back end of the bullpen this summer. Opponents are batting just 192 against him and just 172 with runners in scoring position. He will be called upon to go through the meat of this Spuds order. Dylan Schlotterbeck, Josh Phillips, and Kenny Jackson. No easy task. 3, 4, 5. And he'll try to keep the momentum in the favor of the Sasquatch after it looked like all the momentum had turned to the Spuds. Sasquatch, with 1 swing of the bat off of Micah Wallett, quickly said no to that. We'll see if Bobo can continue the momentum with a first pitch ball to Dylan Schlotterbeck. Schlotterbeck an RBI double in his first at-bat, and he grounded out to second in the 3rd inning. So he's 1 for 2 today with an RBI and a run scored. Bobo high, 2 balls and no strikes. Bobo 5'9", 170. Out of Lompoc, California. He stayed in California to play for the Allen Hancock College Bulldogs before transferring to Cal State Los Angeles ahead of this next year. It's on the corner. 2 balls and a strike. It's mostly a 3-pitch pitcher. Fastball, slider, changeup. Fastball is looped into right field. Coming on is Marcial. Long run. He dives. And did he make the catch? He did. A great play out in right field by Javier Marcial. The glove looked like it got caught underneath him there for a second. He's able to roll over it and hold on to the baseball. A nice defensive play, as we've touched on many times already. Sasquatch defensively have gotten much better over the course of this summer. Javier Marcial robs Dylan Schlotterbeck of a base hit for the first out of the inning. So 1 out and Josh Phillips coming up. Phillips swings and misses for strike 1. Walk and a fly out for Phillips today. And of course, we want to see him with the bases empty. Guy who's left the yard 9 times this summer, only a couple home runs back of the ILB record. It's a Sasquatch record. DJ Van Atten had 11 home runs. Phillips running low on time to try to tie and break that record down the stretch. Bobo ahead here, 0-2. 1-2. Phillips is a guy who's hit the Sasquatch well, similarly to Wesley Flatt. Entered today 8 for 26, a batting average of .308 against Sasquatch, and 4 of his 8 home runs have come against Spearfish. 4 of his 9, I should say. That's on the inside corner. And Phillips is down on strikes. He didn't like the call. Getting a stern warning from Zach Nelson behind the plate. He had some words for Nelson after the strikeout. 2 up and 2 down for Elijah Bobo out of the bullpen, and it doesn't get any easier here with Kenny Jackson. Well, one way you can know that these two teams are among the best in the ILB is the amount of home runs that have been hit in this series. Sasquatch hit 3 home runs across the first 2 games. The Spuds had 3 home runs, or check that, Sasquatch had 2 home runs across the first 2. The Spuds had 3 home runs. And today, 1 home run aside. Jackson responsible for 2 of the home runs in this series for the Spuds. We've now got 2 home runs by Jackson, the grand slam from Parker Burt, and the home run from Josh Phillips in these 3 games. And for the Sasquatch, you've got Wallett's home run, Nelson's home run, and Dempsey's home run. A lot of guys leaving the yard for the first time as well, with Dempsey, Wallett, Parker Burt all getting their first home runs of the summer in this 3-game set. Game 4 will be tomorrow night. Another 6:05 start between these two teams. It's inside, 2-1. Tomorrow night will, as forecasted, be even hotter than it is or was today. It's cooling off a little bit, down to about the low 90s now, but tomorrow we're scheduled for 106 as the high. A walk to Jackson. 2-out free pass issued by Bobo will keep the inning alive for the Spuds. And it'll bring up Chase Burke. Well, Burke, you can tell he's fast. He's 25 of 29 on stolen bases, but the eye test there on the ball in the bottom of the 4th inning, where he was able to track towards the left center field gap and take away a hit from Seth Nelson. That's a tough ball to track down, not only just because of the where it's hit, but the lefty snap ball slicing away from you, tailing towards left field, and Burke was able to run it down and make the catch. 2 outs in the inning, Jackson at first. Bobo trying to put up a 0 in his first inning of work out of the bullpen, replacing Bleeker after 4 innings. He's lost a bit of the strike zone here. 5-pitch walk to Jackson, and now 2 straight balls to Chase Burke. Got a dangerous hitter in Matt Marsick due up next. Another ball from Bobo, now 3-0. In danger of issuing back-to-back 2-out walks to give Casper some life in this inning. He avoids it there with a strike down the middle. Can't discount the bat of Chase Burke, though. Get ahead of yourself with Marsick. .319 batting average for Burke this summer. He had an RBI single in the first inning. 1 for 2 today. And they pick off Jackson at first. Elijah Bobo, a quick pickoff move right on the money. And Jackson is out at first base. Thrown out by Elijah Bobo, who ends up facing the minimum in the 5th inning. With help from, well, himself. A pickoff over at first base gets him through the 5th. And as we head to the bottom half of the frame, Casper still leads it by 2.
New games every month at the Lodge. We are constantly updating our gaming floor with the latest fun games to keep our guests entertained with new games every month. For the freshest selection of slot machines in town, make the Lodge at Deadwood your gaming destination. The locals' choice for gaming excitement with the newest games is the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort.
Kyle Finn will lead off for the Sasquatch in the bottom of the 5th. 3, 4, 5 in the order. Finn, Bachman, and Marcial due up here against Brennan Daniel, who's still out there on the mound for Casper despite some action in the bullpen as Finn gets into one to left. This is headed towards the wall. It's up against the wall. One hops against the fence, and Kyle Finn will cruise into second standing up. Swinging first pitch, he doubles to left field. And the Sasquatch will bring the tying run to the plate here in the 5th inning as Kyle Finn takes advantage of a hanging breaking ball. Wastes no time to begin this bottom of the 5th inning with a double. And Ryan Bachman due up next. Day may be done for Brennan Daniel after 4 innings. Tried to get him through the 5th inning, or at least into the 5th inning. He will depart 4+ for Daniel. New pitcher for the Spuds coming up when we come back.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Jet Rogers at Peak Family Chiropractic and Sports Performance. We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof? Stop in today and let's get you to your peak.
So Daniels lifted after 4+. He ends up giving up 4 runs, but it could be a 5th with his responsibility. Kyle Finn standing at second base. 8 hits allowed. He strikes out 1, doesn't allow any walks. Needs 62 pitches to face 21 batters and get 12 outs in this ball game. And now we'll go to Tyler Guidry. Celebrated a birthday yesterday, and he'll be on the mound here in this bottom of the 5th inning. You look at the numbers for him. He started 2 games this season as well. 22 innings pitched. He's a 2-0 record, 3.68 ERA. Opponents are batting just .210 against Guidry on the summer. And he'll be called upon to try to keep the Casper Spuds in the lead as the Sasquatch have threatened to take their first lead of the ball game here in this bottom of the 5th inning. The tying run is coming up in the form of Ryan Bachman. Tyler Guidry's last time out came in a start against Bison Baseball. That was on July 18th. He went 7 innings and did not allow a run. Struck out 11 in that ball game. 11 of his 24 strikeouts came in that outing. First pitch to Bachman is high, gets away from Burt, and that'll advance Kyle Finn over to third. A wild pitch on the first pitch from Guidry. Moves Finn 90 feet closer. He's now just 90 feet away. And Ryan Bachman, who's been great with runners in scoring position, .429 batting average with runners in scoring position this year. Try to pick up RBI number 34 of the summer, which is standing over at third. This is another ball. Gets over his head. It was thrown too hard and went right off the screen. So Finn can't advance. 2 pitches, neither of them close to Ryan Bachman here from Guidry. Imagine a veteran like Bachman probably seeing that and thinking, take it unless you get a fastball down the middle. That's again nowhere close. Almost caught the face of Bachman as he dips out of the way of it. 3-0 to Ryan Bachman and 3 pitches that have not been close. Javier Marcial is due up next. So we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Casper leads it 6-4. But the Spuds in danger of letting the Sasquatch get back in this ball game as Bachman will walk on 4 pitches. And now it'll be runners on the corners, still no man out for Marcial, who witnessed 4 pitches in that at-bat. All of them missing, and I guess the 4th one the closest of the 4, but it wasn't close. See how aggressive Marcial decides to be at the plate. You look at his numbers on the season, and there's a lot of hidden story in those numbers. 0 for 19 to begin the year. In June, he batted .341. In July, he's batted .333. Again, nowhere close. This one hit Marcial. 5 balls, a walk, and a hit by pitch for Tyler Guidry. Has loaded the bases for Micah Coleman. Spuds getting action in their bullpen quickly, an arm loosening as fast as he can. And the Spuds will stall for a little bit of time here. Veteran move for Parker Burt as he's gonna apply something to his hands, allow a couple more pitches to be thrown out in the bullpen, and a very quick day for Tyler Guidry. He walks Bachman, he hits Marcial, and he'll depart with the bases loaded and a big at-bat for Micah Coleman against the new Spuds pitcher will come up when you come back.
Human Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Not the outing that head coach Batten or Tyler Guidry had in mind, as he only faces two. He walked Bachman on 4 pitches and he hit Javier Marcial. He inherits now the bases loaded with nobody out. I should say he, and that he is Armani Knipper, who will take over here for the Casper Spuds. We'll take a look at season numbers for Knipper. 26 innings pitched, a 1-1 record, 3.81 ERA, a whip of 1, 44 strikeouts, 12 walks. And opponents are batting just 154 against him. The Sasquatch faced him early on in the season at the end of May and first game of June. Knipper threw 6 innings in 3 games. He did not allow a run to the Sasquatch. He struck out 9, walked 3, gave up 2 hits. So he pitched well against the Sasquatch in the first few times he's faced them. And now you got a big opportunity here for the Sasquatch to get back in this ball game in a big way. The bases loaded, nobody out, and Micah Coleman is due up next. Before we get too far into this at-bat, we'll give you a quick look around the ILB, what's going on right now. The Hastings Sodbusters are beating the Oahe Zap 6-1, and they're about to close that game out in the 9th inning. Bison Baseball is currently beating the Moo 4-1. That game is in the 5th. Bases loaded, nobody out. Micah Coleman at the plate. Knipper's first pitch is a ball. 1-0 to Coleman. Kyle Finn stands at third, Ryan Bachman at second, and Javier Marcial stands at first. Go-ahead run on the base paths in the form of Marcial. Sasquatch hoping to put up a crooked number here and take the lead. Another fastball misses low. 2-0 on Coleman. A couple flyouts to center for the shortstop Coleman. 395 batting average for him this summer. He's batted .390 with runners in scoring position. It's in there for a strike. 2 balls and a strike. 92 on that fastball. In the month of July, Micah Coleman, .389 batting average, 8 RBIs in 11 games played. Big opportunity for the Sasquatch. 2-1. In the air, right field, drifting towards the line, and count evens up at 2-2. Coleman's bat has been good ever since he came to the Sasquatch. He had that big moment like we touched on earlier when he walked off the Spuds, a walk-off walk earlier on in the summer. A big win at that point in time, the first time, and up until yesterday, the only time the Sasquatch had beaten the Spuds this year. A 2-2 pitch is nowhere close. It goes back to the screen. Everybody's going to hold up on the base pass. That fastball slipped out of the hands of Knipper. And now the bases loaded with a full count. Nowhere to put Coleman with Nolan Ackerman, the catcher, due up next. Josh Phillips playing with his toes on the grass over at first. Playing well off the line, shaded towards second base. A full count pitch is fouled away. Good battle there from Coleman. He spoils a fastball on the corner. Well, Coleman has a great eye at the plate. He's walked 22 times in 26 games entering today. 59.29% of his at-bats are quality ABs. He works long at-bats. He waits for his pitch, waits for his mistake, and takes advantage. A 3-2 is in the dirt. A great at-bat for Micah Coleman. An RBI walk brings home Kyle Finn, and the Sasquatch inch 1 run closer. They're now just 1 run out. Casper leads it 6-5, and the bases stay loaded for Nolan Ackerman. Ackerman just right there with Micah Coleman in terms of arguably the best hitter in this order. I mean, you could make a case for so many different guys on this team to be the most dangerous, the best, however you want to word it. Ackerman is right up there. He's 2 for 2 today. He's 24 for 51 on the summer, batting almost 500. 2 home runs this season, 19 RBIs. And he takes inside 2-0. So after Finn's leadoff double, Bachman walk, Marcial hit by pitch, Coleman walk. The Sasquatch have needed just 1 hit to bring home a run and have the bases loaded with still nobody out in the inning. A 2-0 pitch from Knipper is low, 3-0, nowhere to put him. Matthew Gonzalez is due up next, and Knipper is in danger of bringing home the tying run. See if he gets the green light. Didn't look like he did as he takes the whole way and looks at strike 1. Levi Graham warming in the Casper bullpen. This inning began with Brennan Daniels still on the mound. The book is closed on him. All 5 runs to this point are his, and they're all earned. That one hits him. That'll bring home the tying run. A hit by pitch to Nolan Ackerman will bring home Ryan Bachman, and the game is tied at 6 here in the 5th. Well, guys on the mound that have been really good this summer. Armani Knipper had allowed just 12 walks to this point. The guy who'd been really good with the control has already allowed a walk and a hit by pitch, and that is going to be the end of the line for Knipper. So we've seen Daniel, Guidry, Knipper, and we're about to see a 4th Casper pitcher in this half inning. The Sasquatch have tied the game. Knipper is unhappy, and he will walk off the mound, leaving the bases loaded with nobody out. A new Casper pitcher will enter when we come back.
I wanna shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. And she loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice play.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
Human Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
The new pitcher, the 4th of the inning, will be Levi Graham. We've already seen him in this series. He will take over here. Another guy that's going to have to inherit the bases loaded with nobody out. Take a look at the numbers for him. An ERA just under 5, a 1.22 whip, 15 strikeouts to 8 walks, but sort of throw that out the window with what we've seen in this half inning. The command, whatever's happened in this half inning, the mound, whatever it is, Casper pitchers have not been able to have the command, and for some reason or another, we're seeing it continue here as Levi Graham's first pitch is nowhere close to Matthew Gonzalez. The bases loaded, nobody out, 2 runs already in this inning, and only 1 hit for the Sasquatch. It was Finn's double that led off the inning. Since that point, Bachman and Marcial both reached. A walk to Bachman, a hit by pitch to Marcial. Those were the two batters that Tyler Guidry faced. And then a walk and a hit by pitch, and those were the two batters that Armani Knipper faced. 8th spot in the order, and Matthew Gonzalez, who's 2 for 2 today, an RBI double and a single. He's also scored a run. 2-1 on Gonzalez. Marcial is at third, Micah Coleman is at second, and Nolan Ackerman is at first. And now a tie ball game, with the Sasquatch threatening to take their first lead of the game. 2-1. 2-2 on the fastball on the corner. Well, you go back to the top of the 4th inning. A grand slam from Parker Burt made it a 6-1 ball game at the time. Micah Wallett had a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 4th, cut it to 6-4. And now here we are in the 5th in a tie ball game. Graham's pitch is outside. Gonzalez thought about it, but he is able to keep those wrists in check, and he holds back the swing. The count goes full. Another 3-ball pitch will come to a Sasquatch hitter with the bases loaded. The 9th spot, Micah Wallett, is due up next. With nowhere to put Gonzalez on a full count pitch, Graham grounded towards third. It's going to get through for a base hit. Past the diving Baracani. Marcial scores. Coleman scores. It's an RBI single. 2 runs come in to score for Matthew Gonzalez. And the Sasquatch have their first lead of the game. It's 8-6. Still nobody out in the inning, and the Sasquatch have continued to battle back in this ball game. No quit in the team. Those 2 runs that come in to score are charged against Tyler Guidry. And now with runners on the corners, Micah Wallett again batting with 2 on. Parker Burt is able to block it. Ball 1. Gonzalez, what a day for him. We've continued to talk about how much of an impact player he's been. 3 for 3 day today with 3 RBIs and a run scored. And playing great defense. A 1-0. Nowhere close. 2-0. It's just weird you see something like this from a pitching staff that's been so good, where 4 different guys, really 3 if you take away Daniel, who didn't struggle with command in this half inning, but all 3 guys have missed badly with a lot of their pitches in this half inning. Fastball finds the zone there on Wallett. 2-1. Ackerman is over at third. That's responsibility of Knipper. Into center field, Burke coming on. He makes the catch. Tagging from third is Ackerman. The throw is offline, and he will score. A sacrifice fly for Micah Wallett, who's driven in 4 runs today. Ackerman comes in to score the 9th run of the game for the Sasquatch, who have a 3-run lead. That's just now the first out of the inning. So 2 runs charged to Knipper. Both of his runs come in to score. And to the top of the order we go. The 8th hitter to bat for the Sasquatch in this inning, Seth Nelson. As Spearfish has put up 5 runs here in the 5th. They put up 3 runs in the 4th. They've scored 8 in the last 2 innings to take a 9-6 lead. Pitch gets by Burt. Gonzalez will advance to second base on the wild pitch. Again, a fastball that doesn't miss anywhere near the strike zone, out of the hands of Levi Graham. Graham's the 4th Spud pitcher in this half inning. They have another one loosening in the bullpen. A 1-0 count to Nelson. Grounded towards short. Gonzalez going on contact. He'll get to third. The throw over to first is just in time, as Schlotterbeck delivers a strong throw to get Seth Nelson at first base. It's a productive out, though, as it does move Gonzalez over to third base. We'll see if Jordan Bowman can get the 2-out base hit here and put the Sasquatch into double figures. Graham trying to limit the damage. First pitch to Bowman is ball 1. Have not seen a lot of first pitch strikes from Casper this half inning. Every at-bat in the Sasquatch's favor, and they've taken advantage. Grounded towards third, Barakani with a lot of time. He'll throw across the diamond, and the inning will end. 9 Sasquatch batters come to the plate in the inning. The Sasquatch need only 2 hits in the frame to bring home 5 runs, and after 5 innings of play, the Sasquatch lead this one 9-6. We'll have a brief pause in the action here at the ballpark as we've got a dance on the field. We've had a couple dances already this summer, and we've got another one coming up right here on this half inning. So you can stick around and watch the dance performed by Kids and Company. And that's all coming up after this brief pause.
Out in the cold, out in the dark, something's lurking at the edge of the park. People be warned, people beware. There's a storm on the rise and it's covered in hair. Claws like a hook, eyes like coal, feet so big they're gonna crush your soul. They call him Sasquatch. I'm shuffling.
You're killing me, Smalls. Ladies
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Road trips are measured in miles of uncontrollable laughter, comfortable silence, and new memories. And for 50 years, Super 8 has been there for wherever your journey takes you. So when the open road calls for a good night's rest, you can depend on Super 8's modern rooms at over 2,000 locations. Plus, earn Wyndham Rewards points for every stay. Super 8, one of 24 trusted brands by Wyndham. See you on the road.
Hope you enjoyed that dance performance there at the end of the 5th inning. It's a little bit better now that the Sasquatch are in front by a score of 9-6. Crowd into it after some offensive display by the Sasquatch, and Kids in Company with help from a couple Sasquatch players. Micah Coleman was out there with Nathan Harb, Micah Wallett, and Cade Bleeker. 3 of those guys playing in today's game. Cade Bleeker getting a start, Wallett and Coleman, both hitters in today's lineup. Top of the 6th inning, and Bobo, is ahead of Chase Burke here, 0-2. Pitch high. Crowd has been into it all 3 games here so far against the Spuds. They know a playoffs is in the future. A push towards the playoffs is what this series is all about. Chase Burke hustling hard down the line, but Gonzalez is able to get it over to first base in time. 1 up and 1 down here for Elijah Bobo. Bobo came into the game in the 5th inning, replacing Cade Bleeker after 4 innings of work. And then in that 5th inning, got the first 2 guys out before walking Jackson. And then he was able to pick off Kenny Jackson to finish off the inning. Well, Chase Burke thought he was safe at first base for a moment, and now we'll get a conversation here as Gary Hall, the field umpire, will have to trot all the way over to talk with James Batten. And now what I presume will be a very brief conversation here. It is brief. He is out. I mean, there's nothing you can really do in a situation like that. I'm not sure we've seen a call really overturned in any game that I've tuned into where they have the field umpire call it one way and the home plate umpire comes over and calls it another way. The field umpire's got the best view at it, so he'll make the call, and be surprised if a home plate umpire ever decides to say, yeah, I saw it better than you did, and we're going to change the call. Either way, 1 up and 1 down. Matt Marsick bats, fouls it off, 0-2. Marsick, the beer batter today here at the ballpark, has not struck out today. Grounded out to first and singled to fourth. Elijah Bobo trying to give what is a great crowd here at the ballpark once again for a 3rd night in a row. Strikeout. Misses with the fastball up and away. Looking towards the Fremont series as well. We've got a couple fireworks nights on back-to-back days. Christmas in July tomorrow. 2 more fireworks nights, and then we end the season with 9 innings of winning. Nice play there by Coleman. Marsick hustling hard down the line, as was Burke, but both are out by about a step over at first base. 2 outs in the inning for Elijah Bobo. So if you haven't already come out to a ball game all year long, well, then this is just about your last chance. Only a few more games left on the schedule. Tomorrow's game against the Casper Spuds. Anticipate another good ball game, as we've seen 2.5, if you count today, of good baseball here between the Spuds and Sasquatch. And then, of course, you've got what is essentially a playoff series against the Fremont Moo to finish out the season to determine whether or not the Sasquatch will make the playoffs. And you've got 2 of those 3 games are going to be fireworks nights, the first 2. So if you haven't bought tickets already, mark your calendar for Friday and Saturday. Come out and watch some baseball between the Moo and the Sasquatch. Wave and a miss there from Dawson Baracani. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bobo trying to finish off a 3-up, 3-down 6th inning and faced the minimum for a 2nd inning in a row. He's gotten 5 outs and faced 5 Spuds. 2-2. Quick score update, by the way, as well. The Hastings Sodbusters did end up winning against the Zap 6-1. And right now, Bison Baseball is currently beating the Moo 5-1 in the 7th inning. That would be massive for the Sasquatch. If Bison Baseball can pull off that upset, if that is the case, and the Sasquatch win today, their magic number would be 3, which means a win tomorrow against the Spuds, and all this hypothetical, a win tomorrow and a win today, to go along with the Fremont loss today, would mean only 1 win necessary in those final 3 games for the Sasquatch. Swing and a miss for Baracani. He's down on strikes. Bobo faces 6 Spuds, gets 6 outs through 2 innings. Another 3-up, 3-down inning in the 6th. And as we head to the bottom half of the frame, the Sasquatch have the lead. It is 9-6.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
So we'll begin the bottom of the 6th inning the same way we began the bottom of the 5th, with Kyle Finn to lead things off as the Sasquatch sent 9 to the plate in the last half inning, where they put up 5 runs. They needed only 2 hits to do so. Spuds pitching lost the strike zone. 4 Spuds pitchers in that inning. Levi Graham, the last of which, was able to get the final. Well, he got actually all 3 outs in the inning. Ended up retiring the last 3 batters. Wallett, a sac fly, Nelson a ground out, and Bowman a ground out. In there for a strike. Ball and 2 strikes on Kyle Finn. Finn led off the inning in that 5th with a double. and came around to score on the Micah Coleman RBI walk. Up and down the Sasquatch lineup, the only Sasquatch hitter who has not reached base today is Seth Nelson. He's 0 for 4. Sasquatch only have 9 hits, and they've scored 9 runs. Finn fouls it off. Keeps the count at 2-2. So Finn, Bachman, Marcial, 3, 4, 5 in the order. Levi Graham still out there, but a Spud is warming in the bullpen as well. Would be the 5th Spud pitcher of the game, used in just 6 innings if he does appear, whoever that may be. Warming in the bullpen, can't tell from here. It is Dalen Bauer who is warming up. 3-2. In the air, left fields. This ball is out of sight. Kyle Finn leads off the bottom of the 6th inning with a solo home run. The Sasquatch, once down by 5, now lead it by 4 as Kyle Finn continues a great day for Sasquatch hitting. A solo blast off of Levi Graham to begin the 6th, and the Sasquatch lead it 10-6. You could see it right off the bat that ball was headed out of the yard, and Kyle Finn has home run number 3 on the season, moves him into a tie with a couple players for 3 on the year, tied for 2nd most on the summer, and that blast will knock Casper pitcher Levi Graham out of the ball game. New pitcher coming in, it'll be Dalen Bauer when we come back.
I wanna shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. She loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice strike.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
So the day is done for Levi Graham. He came in with the bases loaded and nobody out in the 5th inning, and he had to try to get out of that jam. He limited the damage to some degree, but he gave up a 2-run single to Matthew Gonzalez and then a sac fly to Micah Wallett, so he didn't give up any of his own runs, but he did allow all of those inherited runners to come home and score. And then to begin the 6th inning, he gave up a solo shot to Kyle Finn, and that knocked him out of the ball game. And Dalen Bauer will now take over. Bauer just faced the Sasquatch in the first game of this series on July 22nd. Pitched an inning and 2/3, gave up a run. It was earned. And he will take over here on the mound for Casper with the bases empty and nobody out. And Ryan Bachman to come up. Bauer on the summer, 7 1/3 innings pitched. He just joined the team. His first outing was in June 27th. I want to say just. Joined the team much more recently than guys who've been here since May. 7 1/3 innings pitched, a 2.46 ERA. So he has allowed 3 runs on the summer and 2 of them earned. 10 strikeouts to 6 walks on the year. And a first pitch ball to Ryan Bachman. Inside. So the Sasquatch have scored double figures for now their 20th time on the year. Previous 19 times, 16-3 when they score 10 or more runs. This offense, which has been among the best in the league, is continuing to show it in this big series against the Casper Spuds. And on the other side of things, for Casper, Spuds have only allowed 10 or more runs 4 times entering today. This is only the 5th time all year they've allowed that many runs, as Bauer fell down on the mound trying to deliver that 2-1 pitch. Seems to be all right. And the count goes to 3-1. Bachman walked his last time up in the 5th. Hitless so far today. Not anymore. Perhaps as that ball slicing towards the line, it'll go foul. Bachman has hit safely in 31 of 37 games, so trying to make it 32 of 38 if he can get a hit today. Either way, his on-base streak continues. On base every game this summer. One way or another, he's been on base in all 38 games he's played in. In the air, left center field. Long run for Burke. He's not going to get it. It falls in for a base hit. And make it 32 games with a hit on the summer for Ryan Bachman. He's got a single after the home run from Kyle Finn. The offense will continue in this bottom of the 6th inning. A base runner for Javier Marcial. Checked his swing, didn't go. Ball 1 to Marcial. Couple hit by pitches to go along with a ground out today for Marcial, so he's 0 for 1, but he's been on base twice. So still a chance to try to extend that hitting streak, which is 8 entering today. Outside. With him being now 0 for 1, he's batting just under 400 over this last 8-game stretch. He's 14 for 36. 4 extra base hits over his last 8 games. He's driven in 7 runs in that stretch as well. 3 balls and no strikes. Another Casper pitcher is warming up in the bullpen. At this pace, Casper's going to run through just about their whole bullpen just to get through this game. They've got another one tomorrow. That's a strike. 3-1. Arguably just as important as what's going on out in Fremont, with Bison baseball currently winning 5-1. That game is heading into the bottom of the 7th inning, so it's in Fremont. The Moo have just 9 more outs to come back in that ball game. This is blooped into center field, and there is the 9-game hitting streak for Javier Marcial. It continues as he gets a base hit here into shallow center. Bachman heads over to second, 2 on with nobody out. To go back to the point, though, what's going on out in Fremont? So I mentioned briefly a little bit of the math down the stretch. The Sasquatch, their magic number is 5. Every time they win, it goes down. Every time the Moo win, it goes down. So a win for the Sasquatch and a loss for the Moo would put their magic number at 3. As Micah Coleman fouls this first pitch off, that would mean that if the Sasquatch do win today and the Moo do lose today as well, and the Sasquatch win tomorrow, that would put their magic number at 2. And with the math being a win for the Sasquatch and a loss for the Moo, resulting in a total of a change of 2, Sasquatch would only need to beat the Moo once in the final 3 games to clinch a playoff spot and find themselves in the ILB Championship Series against Fremont. Count 0-1 on Coleman as he lofts this one into right. Who's going to get it? Right fielder Jackson closing in on it. He makes the catch. And that is the first out of the inning. Hamilton Moy is the spud warming in the bullpen. Here's Nolan Ackerman on base all 3 times today. A couple of singles to go along with an RBI hit by pitch in that 6th inning. He scored 3 runs in 3 at-bats. And he hits it hard into left center field. This ball is going to get past Burke and head towards the wall. Bachman will score easily. Marcial is going to be held up at third. The throw comes into the plate, but Marcial's not coming home. RBI double for Nolan Ackerman. 2 RBIs on the day. He's on base for the 4th time. And the Sasquatch extend the lead. It's 11-6. Back out to the mound goes head coach James Batten. Didn't see a motion yet from him, but he will take the ball. The day will be done for Dalen Bauer. He departs here in the 6th inning, gets only 1 out. And he leaves. New pitcher coming in when we come back.
Home for the newest games is at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. When you're looking for the latest and greatest games, the Lodge is the place for you, as we are constantly updating our gaming floor with new and exciting games. There's always something fresh and fun at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort, your home for the newest games.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Dr. Jet Rogers at Peak Family Chiropractic and Sports Performance. We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof? Stop in today and let's get you to your peak.
Matthew Gonzalez will be the first batter that the new pitcher Hamilton Moy will face here. 1 out. The runner on second is Nolan Ackerman. Already 2 runs in the inning. The solo shot from Kyle Finn and the RBI double off the bat of Ackerman. Runners at second and third as Moy's first pitch is fouled off. 37 2/3 innings pitched for Hamilton Moy. 2-0 record. He does have a save as well. 4.3 ERA, a 1.43 whip, and opponents are batting .304 against him. He's 0-1. He's on the corner. 0-2. 6th pitcher of the game for the Casper Spuds, and all of them have appeared in these last 2 innings, with the starter Brennan Daniel coming out to begin the 5th inning, and the rest of them mixed match to get 4 outs. Chopped towards second. Marcial thought about holding up, but now he's going to have to come home as Ackerman was headed towards third, and it was the right decision as he comes home to score. Ackerman to third. Marcial scores the 12th run of the ball game on an RBI ground out from Matthew Gonzalez. A great day for Gonzalez and a little bit of small ball as he gets the run home, willing to sacrifice out number 2 in the inning. As Gonzalez now has 4 RBIs on the day. He's 3 for 4. And it's the 9th spot, Micah Wallett. Goes after the first pitch and hits it towards Josh Phillips. It went under his glove. Under his glove and into the outfield. And Micah Wallett will reach on the error And Nolan Ackerman will come home to score an unearned run on what looked like it should have been out number 3. Josh Phillips maybe just didn't look it all the way into his glove. Either way, 13th run of the ball game for the Sasquatch. On the error at first base, Ackerman scores his 4th run of the game. And Wallette will keep the inning alive as we go back to the top of the lineup. Batter number 8 in this half inning. Seth Nelson looks at strike 1. Sasquatch brought up 9 to the plate in the 5th inning. And they've brought up 8 here in this half inning. Scored 5 runs in the 4th, or pardon me, 5 runs in the 5th. They've scored 4 more here in the 6th inning as Nelson hits one out to center. Burke on the run. He'll make the catch. And that'll do it for the 6th. Another inning where the Sasquatch take advantage offensively. They put up 4 more runs. And now they have a double lead. They've doubled up the Casper Spuds and won. 13-6 the score as we head to the 7th.
Human Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes. At our clinic locations throughout the region. And at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us. Working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger. Getting better. Getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Here for whatever moves you.
When you venture to Spearfish in the Black Hills of South Dakota, you'll find rugged hiking and biking trails, extreme rock climbs, and views that will take your breath away. Plan a Spearfish vacation and come find your adventure. Spearfish, my great place in South Dakota.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Quietly, meanwhile, the Sasquatch have scored 9 runs in their past 2 innings. Elijah Bobo has also worked 2 scoreless frames where he's faced the minimum. 6 batters faced to get 6 outs. And that's a big help. We already saw Cole Krieber work 4 innings in game 1 of this series, which set the bullpen up to be able to win last night's game using Peters and Torpy. Both of those guys were said to be available today, but Elijah Bobo, with how well he's pitched and sort of deciding whether you can pull Bobo at this point and maybe save him for tomorrow, but then he'd have to work a back-to-back. If you push him longer, he'd become unavailable tomorrow, but at the same time, you save an arm having to work an inning and would have to work a back-to-back. So there's both sides of the coin on that discussion. Head coach Justice Scott sticking with Bobo, who's got 34 pitches now on the day. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Parker Birch. 9-1-2 in the order. Burt, Clausius, and Flat. Burt hit a grand slam in the 4th inning, which looked like at the time was going to be sort of a nail in the coffin of the Sasquatch, so to speak. They were trailing 6-1. It looked like the momentum was all in favor of Casper and that Sasquatch were going to have a long uphill battle to try to get back in the ball game, but it has not been that case. The Sasquatch have scored 12 unanswered runs to get back in this ball game, and not just back in this ball game, but commanding lead, 7-run lead here in the 7th inning. Parker Burt walks, and Cody Clausius, DH and leadoff hitter, comes to the plate. Spuds offense is more than capable of coming back in this ball game, but got a long way to go and not a lot of time. They need 7 runs and they only have 9 outs to work with. Strike one to Clausius. Clausius reached on an error in the first inning, came around to score an unearned run off of Cade Bleeker. Lined out in the second and flew out in the fourth. Fouled off. Count goes to 0-2. We'll continue to monitor what's going on out in Fremont between Bison and the Moo. That game, of course, big implications for the Sasquatch. The Bison were able to work a scoreless bottom of the seventh inning, so that game now heads to the eighth with Bison still on top 5-1. 0-2 in on the hands and fouled off. Clausius will stay alive. Swing and a miss. The fastball, and he blew it by him. Clausius is down on strikes. First out of the inning and the third strikeout for Elijah Bobo in 2 1/3 innings pitched. He's been really dominant out of the bullpen. And that brings up Wesley Flatt. First pitch just Flatt, a swing and a miss. Everything working right now for Bobo. Mentioned mostly 3-pitch pitcher. The fastball to go along with a slider and a changeup. Looked like a slider there that got Flatt out in front, swinging and missing. Fastball to Clausius, blew it by him. Tries to go in on the hands with a fastball. Flatt thought it hit him, or at least he was trying to sell that it hit him. Flatt, a quiet day. He's 0 for 3, 2 flyouts and a ground out. Small lead at first for Burt. Did he go? Yes, he did. And there's strike two. Two and a third innings for Elijah Bobo. No hits allowed. 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. This will be his 45th pitch. Flatt swings and misses. Another fastball, and he blew it by him once again. Make it 4 strikeouts for Elijah Bobo as he attacks Flatt with the fastball, and he gets him swinging. 2 outs with Parker Burt still over at first base, and Dylan Schlotterbeck will come to the plate. Schlotterbeck an RBI double in the first inning. He grounded out in the third, and he flew out to right field on a very nice defensive play, a sliding grab from Javier Marcial to rob Dylan Schlotterbeck of what would be hit number 2 on the game. His RBI double in the first inning, his 51st RBI of the year. ILB leading RBI number 51. 1-0, 2-0. Parker Burt led off the inning with a walk. Only the second base runner, Elijah Bobo, has given up. A quiet Sasquatch bullpen. Head coach Justice Scott looking for more from Bobo. 3-0. Josh Phillips due up next, and like we saw with the Sasquatch, the big home run from Micah Wallett, which cut into the Casper deficit. A base runner here would put 2 on base for Josh Phillips, who could cut into the Casper deficit in a big way with 1 swing of the bat. Bobo trying to avoid facing him in this half inning. The 3-0 pitch is fouled straight back, and count moves to 3-1. Bobo's been much better over his last 4 games played entering today. He'd gone 5 innings pitched without allowing a run, 6 strikeouts and 4 walks with only 1 hit allowed. So you factor in the 2 2/3 today. That's 7 2/3 scoreless innings in a row for Bobo. Another fastball, and he got it by Schlotterbeck, a full count. On 3-2 with 2 outs, Parker Burt will go on the pitch. We've already seen twice this half inning the fastball blown by Clausius and Flatt for strikeouts. He got the fastball by Schlotterbeck there. We'll see what Bobo decides to do to try to get that 3rd out of the inning. Bobo's pitch, the fastball, is on the outside corner. No, it's not. Ball 4. Looked like for a moment Zach Nelson was about to ring him up, but he extends the right arm to point towards first instead of to retire Dylan Schlotterbeck. It's the second walk issued by Bobo in this half inning, and now he will have to face the dangerous Josh Phillips here with 2 outs in the inning. Could be a turning point in this game if Phillips can get a big base hit. Quiet day for Phillips, only a walk to go along with a fly out and a strikeout. In the dirt. Ball and no strikes. You wonder if maybe the pitch count getting up there for Bobo causing him to get a little bit tired. That was pitch number 52 for Bobo. You've seen Bobo work back-to-back days. One of the only Sasquatch pitchers, if not the only, who's done that. Phillips pops this pitch up, but foul. The longest Elijah Bobo has ever worked this summer was 3 innings, and before today, his high in pitch count was 47. He's already eclipsed that as he's into the 50s. And trying to get through a 3rd frame. 2 balls and a strike to Phillips. Well, Phillips could change this game with 1 swing of the bat. He's got 9 home runs on the year, 19 extra base hits, driven in 47 runs behind only Dylan Schlotterbeck in that department. 2nd in the ILB in runs batted in. 2 runners on base. Sasquatch on top by 7. 2-1 is fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Phillips. A guy on deck as well in Kenny Jackson. Another guy with big power. 5 home runs on the year. Elijah Bobo would like to put a stop to this 7th inning with Phillips at the plate. Schlotterbeck at first and Burt at second. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bobo's pitch. Hit in the air. Right fields. And this game just got a lot closer. Josh Phillips, his 10th home run of the season as he hits that one out of sight to right field. And what was once a 7-run lead with 1 swing of the bat, don't go anywhere. It is 13-9. Josh Phillips into double figures in home runs this season. It's his 10th of the year, 50 RBIs, and it's only a 4-run ball game here in the 7th. Well, Phillips has not only hit 10 home runs this season, but he's now hit 5 of those 10 against the Sasquatch. He has killed Spearfish this season. Sasquatch still in a decent position, though, in good control of this ballgame. They still lead it by 4, and the Spuds only have 6 more outs. Check that, 7 more outs to go. Head coach Justice Scott notices the change in momentum, and he's not going to take any chances. Aiden Torpy has begun loosening in the Sasquatch bullpen after going 2 innings yesterday. We could see him try to lock down this win for the Sasquatch as early as the 8th inning. Still need 1 more out here from Elijah Bobo. Going up against Kenny Jackson. Misses on that pitch, 2-0. Jackson right up there with Phillips in terms of the power, and another guy who has raked against the Sasquatch. 5 home runs, 2 of them against the Sasquatch, 1 in each of the first 2 games of this series. Big, powerful lefty has visited that right field fence a couple times this year. He fouls that pitch straight back. He's right on it. 2-1 the count to Jackson. So Phillips and Schlotterbeck, the 2 of them leading the way all year long for the Casper Spuds as Bobo misses there, 3-1. Phillips 50 RBI, Schlotterbeck 51. The 2 of them have combined for over 100 on the year as Jackson swings and misses. Another good day for Jackson as he's 1 for 2. He singled in the 4th, flew out in the 1st inning, and he walked in the 5th. On base 2 of 3 times. Bobo again, 1 strike away from getting through this inning. 3-2. In the air, left field, this should get him out of it. Bowen barely has to move. Now he comes in on a hurry, and it drops in front of him. It looked like he had it sized up out in left field until he didn't. And in a hurry, he came charging in on that baseball, and it dropped in front of him. It's going to be a base hit as Bowman never touched it on its way down. Jackson has his second hit of the ball game, and all of a sudden, the Casper Spuds are only a couple hits away from bringing the tying run to the plate against Elijah Bobo. Ryan Cantrell will go back out there to talk things over with Elijah Bobo. Aiden Torpy continues to loosen in the Sasquatch bullpen. Well, this game has seen a little bit of everything, hasn't it? You got the grand slam early in the ball game from Parker Burt that was answered back immediately with Micah Wallett's home run. Got a couple big innings by the Sasquatch, including a defensive lapse at first base on a play Josh Phillips makes all the time on a ground ball that sneaks under his glove. And now here you see Casper takes advantage of what is not an error but should be. The Sasquatch will get out of it there as Chase Burke pops out to Gonzalez, and the inning comes to an end. 3 runs all off the bat of Josh Phillips here in this top of the 7th inning, and now it's stretch time here at the ballpark as the Sasquatch lead it 13-9.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Home for the newest games is at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. When you're looking for the latest and greatest games, the Lodge is the place for you, as we are constantly updating our gaming floor with new and exciting games. There's always something fresh and fun at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort, your home for the newest games.
Human Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
So Hamilton Moy back out there on the mound for Casper. He'll work through 2, 3, 4 in the Sasquatch order here in the bottom of the 7th inning. A different ball game, though, from if you just tuned in and put this game off thinking this game was over with the Sasquatch leading by 7. It's now only a 4-run lead thanks to a 3-run shot off the bat of Josh Phillips. It's his 10th home run of the year. Bowman, Finn, and Bachman against Moy here in the 7th inning. And a first pitch strike to Jordan Bowman. Bowman is 1 for 4 today. He singled back in the first inning. Retired his other 3 times and would like to make up for his mistake in left field, though it wasn't costly. A single from Kenny Jackson on a ball that should have been caught in left fields. Perhaps Bowman just lost it in the sky. Haven't seen Bowman in the fields, in the outfields a whole lot. We've seen him in left and right. Mostly at first base, though, early in the year. 1-2. 9 runs on 7 hits and 1 error for Casper. 13 runs on 13 hits and 1 error for the Sasquatch. Swing and a miss. Bowman is retired by Hamilton Moy for out number 1. Talked a little bit about Hamilton Moy when he came into the ball game. It's been a pretty good year for Moy on the mound. A 4.3 ERA in 37 2/3 innings for Moy on the year. And he faced the Sasquatch early on. In fact, his first 4 appearances of the season came against the Sasquatch. He shut him down the first 2 times. On June 1st, though, Sasquatch got to him for 4 runs in 2 1/3 innings pitched. They got to him again 2 nights later for 2 more runs on June 3rd. And he faced the Sasquatch on July 22nd. Got just 1 out in 1 batter faced, and he ended up getting the save in that 11-8 ball game. He was tasked with getting the final out, and he succeeded. Here's Kyle Finn. Finn's left his mark on this game in a big way with a solo home run in the 6th inning, but he's also just 3 for 4 in general. He's had a great day outside of that home run. Ball and 2 strikes to Finn. All 3 of his hits as well, extra base hits for Kyle Finn, and Finn's been doing that all year long. So he's right up there with Schlotterbeck, Phillips, and Marsick in terms of RBIs, most on the Sasquatch team in RBIs. This is down the left field line. Tough play for Barricani. He can't haul it in. It's a real tough play for the third baseman to make as he's headed towards the Casper bullpen, his back to the infield. That ball headed all over the sky, and he could not haul it in to make the catch. As you look at Kyle Finn on the season, with his home run today, he's got 3 home runs on the year. He already entered today, tied for first on the team in extra base hits with 15, so he's now got 18 extra base hits on the year with 3 today. As this pitch is fouled off, Finn battles here on a 1-2 count. Can't say enough about the approach from Sasquatch hitters. They've only struck out 2 times today. The strikeout to Bowman was just the 2nd strikeout by Casper pitching. This is going to go off the glove of Schlotterbeck and into center field. Kyle Finn has a 4-hit game as he singles up the middle. Sasquatch will get a base runner now in the 7th. 2 strikeouts, though, is just incredible for how good this Casper pitching staff has been against everybody in the ILB. We mentioned briefly about how they have done against other teams. They've only allowed 10 or more runs. Before today, they'd only done that 4 times in 45 games. This is just the 5th time in game number 46 that they've done that. And to only strike out 2 times against Casper pitching. Look on the other side of things, though, as well. I mean, Casper's only struck out 5 times. Really just this series in general, we have not seen a lot of strikeouts. It's been good 2-strike hitting, good battles at the plate. Players have shortened up when needed to and always had productive plate appearances. I guess outside of Lorenzo Bailey's immaculate inning yesterday. Every other 2-strike at bat, really, this whole series has been in the favor of the hitters. Ryan Bachman grounds one towards first. Phillips will step on the bag to get one. They throw to second, and they will get Finn, who did not slide into the bag. He is tagged out. It's a 3-6 double play that ends the bottom of the 7th inning. The Sasquatch do not score. They send up the minimum against Hamilton Moy. And as we head to the 8th inning, Sasquatch clinging on to a 4-run lead.
Human Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
So Elijah Bobo works a big chunk of this game, ends up going 3 innings, allows 3 runs, all of them off that bat of Josh Phillips, the 3-run home run. Gives up 2 hits, walks 3, and strikes out 4. And now they will go to their closer on a back-to-back. Aiden Torpy will be tasked with at least the 8th, perhaps getting the final 6 outs for a second straight game. The numbers, incredibly impressive. 26 and a third, 5 saves, 1.37 ERA, a 0.95 whip, 38 strikeouts to 3 walks. He has been unbelievable for the Sasquatch as their closer, and will be tasked with trying to go 2 innings perhaps today and close this one out. First pitch, blooper towards second. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 8th.
Yeah, the infield, buddy.
Marsick is retired. Dawson Barakani is due up next, but they'll go to the bench. Chandler Stocking is going to come in here to pinch hit. So Stocking will take over from Barakani. Barakani was 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch and scored a run today. So they'll go to the bench for Chandler Stocking. Stocking's put together a good year for Casper. Played in last night's game. Got the start at second base before being lifted for pinch hitter Wesley Flatt. Look at the numbers for him this summer. .305 batting average, but he's been incredible. In the month of July, 16 games played, he's batting .407 this month. Torpy's 1-0 in their first strike, 1-1. Well, we mentioned yesterday, Torpy out of that sidearm arm slot. You might think this is a guy who's been doing that his whole life, ever since he became a pitcher, but that's not true. He just added that sidearm delivery recently in the last 4 months out of Augustana University and out of Sydney, Australia. He transitioned himself to being a sidearm pitcher, and as you can see, it's what he was meant to do. The 1-2 is on the outside corner. Stocking is down on strikes. That's out number 2 in the inning.
Score,
5 pitches and 2 outs for Aiden Torpy. The 9th spot in the order, Parker Burt will come to bat. The good thing about Aiden Torpy in yesterday's game, head coach Justice Scott feels comfortable on a back-to-back. Torpy only threw 22 pitches to get 6 outs. And so far, he's worked very efficiently to get 2, and perhaps looking to get Parker Burt to finish out retiring the side in order. Check swing, and that's going to get over the head of Bachman and into left field. So it'll be a 2-out base hit for Parker Birch. Give the Casper Spuds some life here in the 8th inning. They need a couple more base runners before they can bring the tying run home to the plate, which of course they'd hope would be in the form of a guy like Schlotterbeck, Phillips, or Jackson. They're big power threats in the middle of the order. It'll be up to the guys at the top, Clausius and Flatt, to try to give him a chance against Torpy here in this 8th inning. Mount a 2-out rally. Clausius at the plate. First pitch chopped towards third. This will stay fair, and Bachman will have all the time in the world as Clausius was not running. The umpires are going to get together here quickly. It sounded like it hit the plate. Just by the way it sounded off the bat and off what it hit on the ground, it sounded like it hit the plate. He's going to be out. Clausius retired on the ground out, and that'll do it here in the top of the 8th inning. The Sasquatch will need just 3 more outs in the 9th inning, but first, Sasquatch will bat in the bottom of the 8th inning when we come back.
Health, orthopedics, and sports medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Road trips are measured in miles of uncontrollable laughter, comfortable silence, and new memories. And for 50 years, Super 8 has been there for wherever your journey takes you. So when the open road calls for a good night's rest, you can depend on Super 8's modern rooms at over 2,000 locations. Plus, earn Wyndham Rewards points for every stay. Super 8, one of 24 trusted brands by Wyndham. See you on the road.
Dr. Jet Rogers at Peak Family Chiropractic and Sports Performance. We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof? Stop in today and let's get you to your peak.
Javier Marcial to lead off here in the bottom of the 8th inning, potentially and hopefully the last swings for the Sasquatch here in this ball game. Marcial, Coleman, Ackerman, 4, 5, 6 in the order. First pitch from Moy is strike one. I believe Chandler Stocking has remained in the game over at third base. Came in as a pinch hitter for Barricani. Marcial grounds one over right to him, and it's a nice snag over there at third. They get the play at first. That was not Chandler Stocking. Dylan Schlotterbeck made that play over at third. Chandler Stocking moved over to short. So Schlotterbeck moves from short to third and makes that play for the first out. So here comes Micah Coleman with one out and the base is empty. First pitch swinging, grounding to first. Josh Phillips will take it to the bag. Step on the bag himself. 2 up and 2 down for Hamilton Moy. Moy trying to finish off the Sasquatch here in the 8th inning and give the Spuds a chance in the 9th. They'll have Flat, Schlotterbeck, and Phillips. Arguably the exact 3 that you would want up to lead things off, but they'll have to go through Aiden Torpy. Nobody else warming up in the Sasquatch pen. It'll be Torpy to close this one out. Ackerman looks at strike one. Quick update of what's going on out in Fremont. That game is now in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Bison lead it 5-1, but the Moo have first and second with nobody out. Tying run on deck for Fremont. Grounded towards the hole. Fielded there by Stocking. Drifts off of his glove and it'll go into the outfields. Nolan Ackerman is on base for a 5th time today. He is 4 for 5. And he gives the Sasquatch a 2-out base runner here in the top of the 9th inning. The ball looked like it bounced up off the grass and hit the face or potentially the side of the head there from Chandler Stocking. He's given thumbs up, though, all around the infields. He's all good at shortstop, going to be able to remain in the ball game and everything. Runner aboard for Matthew Gonzalez. A great day for Gonzalez today. On base 3 out of 4 times. He's driven in 3 runs, scored 1. 3 for 4 day. Check that. He's driven in 4 runs. His RBI ground out in the 6th was his 4th run batted in. This gets off the glove of Burt. That'll allow Ackerman to take second on a pass ball. Into scoring position as the Sasquatch will look for an insurance run. Feel pretty comfortable with 4 runs at Aiden Torpy on the mound, but of course, with Flat, Schlotterbeck, Phillips, and Jackson in the hole, that's a dangerous core to have to go through in the 9th inning. Torpy working the 2nd game of a back-to-back. It'll be his 2nd inning of the game. Wonder if anything changes being in the dugout, but see how he fares and if he can lock this one down, get the final 3 and hold on for a Sasquatch win. Even if the Moo do come back to win today's ball game, a win still puts the Sasquatch in a really good spot, where at most they'd only have to win 2 against Fremont to clinch a spot. The 2-0 is high. 3-0 to Gonzalez with Micah Wallett due up next. Contributions up and down this Sasquatch order today. 13 runs in the ball game. Good pitching as well for the most part. 13 runs on 15 hits. It's in there for a strike. Ball 4. Gonzalez walks. So after 2 outs to begin the inning, a single and a walk, and Micah Wallett comes to the plate. Nobody warming in the Casper pen right now. Potentially they just ended warming as I looked up. See if James Batten takes the ball from Moy, and he will. So with 2 outs and 2 on, Casper will go back to the bullpen. They'll bring in their 7th pitcher of the ball game. We'll introduce you to who they are when we come back. So Hamilton Moy will depart. 2 outs. He'll leave 2 runners stranded. And Terrace Williams will be called upon to try to get the final out in this ball game. Terrius in 6 innings pitched, 11.58 ERA, 2 whip, 6 strikeouts to 8 walks. He struggled a bit with the commands. 2.31 opponent's batting average against. He'll start by facing off against Micah Wallet, with Nolan Ackerman on second and Matthew Gonzalez on first. Ackerman has scored 4 runs today. If he can come around to score, he'd score 5 runs in 5 at-bats. See if Wallet can bring him home. Takes on the first pitch and misses. Ball and no strikes. Wallet, a big 3 home run in the 4th inning, and though the Sasquatch were still trailing after that home run, that one had a lot of momentum. Shifted the momentum into the favor of the Sasquatch. They'd rattle off 12 unanswered runs, with those being 3, the first of those 12 unanswered. 9th spot in the order, with Seth Nelson, the leadoff man, due up next. The only Sasquatch hitter who has not reached base today is Seth Nelson. He'd love it to get a shot to get in on the action. Chop, third base side, foul. 1-2. In front of a crowd of 479 here today. The Sasquatch trying to win number 29 on the year. And they'll continue to root for a Bison win as well, as that game's getting even closer out in Fremont. It's now a 2-run ball game in the bottom of the 9th inning. Fremont inching back. Curveball high, 2-2. Full count as Wallet looks at ball 3. Both runners will be in motion here. Ackerman will take off from second. Gonzalez from first. Terrius Williams trying to lock this one down, get the final out for the Spuds, give their offense a chance in the 9th. Wallet hits it hard out to center. Burke is positioned well. He makes the catch, and that'll end it in the 8th. We head to the 9th. Aiden Torpy needs 3 more outs for a Sasquatch win. He'll have to go through Flatch, Schlotterbeck, and Phillips when we come back.
Human Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Wesley Flatt will lead off the top of the 9th. Flatt Schlotterbeck Phillips, the heart of the Casper order against the best arm on the Sasquatch pitching staff, Aiden Torpy, potentially one of the best arms in the entire ILB. Was able to lock it down in the 8th inning. Faced 4, got 3 outs in the bottom part of the order. Retired Clausius to finish off the 8th. 3 outs away from a huge Sasquatch win as Wesley Flatt grounds that pitch off of his foot. Count will go to 1-1. Score update quickly out in Fremont. The Moo have tied it. They've scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning off of Bison. And they're still threatening with runners on first and second with 1 out. Could very well come back and win that ball game. Which doesn't make this win meaningless. Still, this is a big win for the Sasquatch if they can get it. They were hoping from some help from Bison. They won't get it here in the 9th. Torpy blows the fastball by Flatt. Strike 2. Flatt 0 for 4 today. 2 flyouts, a ground out, and a strikeout. The guy who'd been hitting the Sasquatch really well entering today is now 0 for 5 on the day. As Aiden Torpy sets him down. 1 away in the 9th. And they are 2 outs away from closing this one out. What a game it's been all game long. It looked like in the beginning of this ball game it was going to be all Casper. They scored 2 runs in the first, a grand slam in the 4th inning after 4 innings, or I should say heading into the bottom of the 4th, they led it 6-1. Sasquatch came back and never looked back. 13-6 ball game in the 7th inning when Josh Phillips hit a 3-run home run to make it 13-9. Brought Casper a little bit closer. But it looks like for now, they won't complete the comeback as Schlotterbeck grounds it towards short. Coleman gloves it, throws over to first. 1 out to go. Torpy against Phillips. What a matchup this is. Looking for the final out of the ball game. And looking for win number 29 on the year. Sasquatch hoping to improve to 29-17. The Spuds trying to avoid falling from 38-8. Stay tuned as soon as this game is over as well for the GP Local post-game show. That's coming up right after this one ends. We'll take a break and then come back. I'll recap today's action and look ahead to the series finale tomorrow night. Josh Phillips takes strike 1. No balls and a strike to the big power hitting left-hander. The 3-run shot in the 7th inning was his 10th of the year. 1 for 3 day for Phillips. Outside, a ball and a strike. Torpy's gotten the final 5 outs of this game. 1 out away from a Sasquatch win. 1 strike away as Phillips swings and misses, and the count goes to 1-2. The crowd here has been great all year long, and a great battle between one of the best arms and one of the best bats. Torpy against Phillips. 13-9, the Sasquatch trying to hold on for the win. Swing and a miss. He did not make contact. The throw over to first will end the ball game, and the Sasquatch win it. In front of a crowd that's been lively, the Sasquatch take the first 2 of 3 against the Casper Spuds. A huge win on Wednesday afternoon with the series finale tomorrow night between these 2 teams. The Sasquatch put up 13 runs in a huge comeback effort, thanks in large part due to the bullpen work on the back end. Bobo strong out of the pen with Torpy's help as well to get the final 6 outs of the ball game. Despite a late comeback attempt with a 3-run shot by Josh Phillips, the Sasquatch hold on to win it. The final score, 13-9. Stay tuned. The GP Local postgame show is coming up when we come back.
Be fucking real, man. Come on.
Here on the GP Local postgame show, joined alongside Matthew Gonzalez. Matthew, another really good day for you at the plate, 3 for 4, drove in 4 runs against before that series against the Bison. You were batting just 143. Over this last stretch, you've been a lot better at the plate. What's been different for you?
Not much, just sticking with the plan. You know, the first month I've gotten what felt like pretty unlucky, hit balls hard right at people, and you know, they've just been falling lately, and I've been really confident with my swing and putting good swings on baseballs, so it's worked out.
I talked with head coach Justice Scott about how valuable you've been to the team. He said one of the big things, of course, is your defense. You've been really great defensively, locking down shortstop, but now also at second base. How much pride do you take in your defense, and how have you gotten so good at that position?
It's a lot of hard work, honestly. It's always been kind of my pride, is being a good defender and doing what I can to help pitchers out and keep us in ball games. So that's kind of what I've been doing and been able to help us do, so it's been cool.
It's a big series against the Casper Spuds. You've now taken 2 out of 3. The playoffs right around the corner. You guys still fighting for that playoff spot. You're going to finish things off against the Fremont Moo. Nolan Ackerman said on the field, you guys are just having fun, swinging, just trying to not have too many nerves. How was the approach in these basically playoff games down the stretch?
Pretty much what Nolan said, you know, just trying to stay loose and have fun. I mean, at the end of the day, baseball is baseball. It's always going to be the same, and you can take it seriously or you can have it fun, and you can do both sometimes, and that's kind of what we've been doing lately. So.
Well, thank you, Matthew. Congrats on the good game. Congrats on the big win.
Thank you.
Well, that'll do it for us here at the ballpark. The Sasquatch able to hold on and win this one 13-9, the final score. One final score update out in Fremont. They ended up walking it off, so the Sasquatch do not get help from Bison baseball. The magic number sits at 4 for the Spearfish Sasquatch, which means they'll have to win. Assuming the Zap do beat the Fremont Moo tomorrow, the Sasquatch will have to win 2 against the Moo to finish out the summer. They've got 4 games left on the schedule. Casper Spuds tomorrow night, 6:05 start. Our coverage will begin at about 5:40 here at the ballpark. For everybody here at Black Hills Energy Stadium, for Stephen Hogenkamp, our video production intern, I'm Ari Wall saying so long, 13-9 the final score. We'll see you tomorrow night for the series finale.